What is up, Touchdown Drive? We are back again, sports lovers. We are going to get into the Jalen Carter news because the Eagles just signed him to a new deal. We'll get into that. Got NFL topics to cover, college football topics to cover. So let's get the show started and play the intro.
I don't think Kalen DeBoer can do that.
Yeah, I would agree. Like, just going based off of what we've seen, it's just not there. I have to see it to believe it. And, you know, I know you've been critical of his interviews, and rightfully so, because I don't think he handled that with confidence whatsoever.
No, and listen, it's like the thing with Sankey yesterday. You don't need a transcript to hear what somebody said. If you look at the transcript of Kalen DeBoer on Wednesday, he probably covered every base and said everything correctly. It's just the energy that he did not bring. And I want a coach to stand up there and display confidence. I don't hear that from DeBoer. I feel like DeBoer it's like, remember when you were in the 7th grade play, you memorized the script and you're up there trying to remember every word. I want to see real energy, real authenticity about what he believes. I know what a good coach he is. I've seen that. He makes a difference on Saturday. But how is he energizing that football team? And we had Damian Harris on the other day, and I realized he played 10 years ago for Nick Saban. But he was describing what his friends, the former players, are saying about DeBoer, and that's a bad sign when the former players, in many ways, and I'm sure they'll call up and say this isn't correct, but I'm telling you it is, are tuning out on what DeBoer is representing.
Yeah, and I can speak on that because I watched Ty Simpson on Down to Business podcast with Caleb Downs, and Ty Simpson even said that the coaching wasn't there against Indiana. So he's even kind of spoke on his thoughts with DeBoer compared to Nick Saban.
Chelsea, very well said.
You say, whatever you do, I can do better. All right, here we go. No bend in the elbow. No bend in the elbow. Oh, my God. Oh, my God. Oh, my God. It's only after. Well, let's go then. I never seen that. I never seen that. Hold on. Ain't no bend in the elbow. Like that right there? No. Both toes. Put your toes on the ground. No bend in the elbow. Hey, Joe, go ahead. Now, Ray. Raise yourself up. Now, bend in your elbow. No. Bend in your elbow. Wait, how your hand was? Like that? Flat on the ground. Like that? Yeah. And you just lift it up? I ain't never seen nothing like that in my life. Oh, you want your elbow bending, huh? You can't bend your elbow. I'm not gonna lie, man. I don't know what type of exercise bend your elbow. But I've been doing like now.
So everybody done had at least one coach or teacher with anger issues. But wait, what the hell going on? Coach done blew a gasket. Blood pressure pushing 200 over too damn high. Looked like the player wasn't where he should have been when he was supposed to be there. But he tried to sneak on the field. Too late for all that. Head coach got a drive-by warning. I'm about to get in his ass. Well, Mike, let's simmer down a bit. No! Get out! Having to walk past after be the worst part. So I'm running. Maybe if I move fast enough, he'll forget. Only thing he forgot was a damn weapon. He chased Paulie D all the way to the sideline. Teammates trying not to be next. Hey, man, chill out. Number 24 barely looked back. I ain't see nothing, coach. I'm trying to play. All other coaches unfazed, except Ricky Rose. This is his favorite show. Making the coach mad to the point where they want to fight is crazy. He almost tore everything in his knee to get to Andrew. Top tier rage bait pop up like an Xbox achievement. The shortest player on the team, the only one stepped in to help my man. I just know he was calling him all type of pansies and mother lovers and finished it off with you're uncoachable. Face on lobster red and he just gonna walk off like ain't nothing happened. Hawk, spit on your chain. Yo bitch ass don't want no smoke. Alright, give me 5. No, that's okay. Give me a hug. Man, ain't nothing going right in the world. Alan Murray never beating them Tyler allegations. What do you have?
It's about what you do.
Put it on his body. Trevor Lawrence waved him off. He's tweaking, folks. I'm sick of this shit. You gotta be kidding me. Got my first win? Yes, I did. Got my first win? No, you didn't. That is unbelievable. Losing ass African American. Hey, you fucking bitch. Fuck you. I'm like that for real. You sure is. You gotta be kidding me. King cocksucker. You cut the mother sucker. Is this how you do it, nephew? Another spit shine in Pittsburgh. Oh yeah, you done messed up, J.A. Moore. Fan want all the smoke. Come on. Come on. Bruh, how I missed the ball right in front of my face. Don't be screaming in my fucking ear. Their guy threw a punch. Sir, no one threw a punch. Bullshit. Between these chapsticks. Both ladies in the background. Should we call the cops? The swing on his head coach. Say something else. He missed it? Indeed he did, my boy. It's over.
He grabbed booty. I tried to keep it together.
You're good.
He did. I mean, there's not much in it there. That's an obvious call. And
Jones? Lamar, there was that point in the season where you guys lost 3 straight, 4 or 5.
Mike Jones, that's me. Mike Jones, that's me right now. So I'm sorry. Go ahead.
That's all right.
What keep you motivated though? Because like people like you don't ever get tired.
Tired of what?
I climbed all the way to the top of the Empire State Building for one reason: to get as far away from that Tennessee orange as possible.
I can still see that ugly orange from up here. Should have climbed higher.
Man, I hate Tennessee because first of all, it's Tennessee. And I just hate them because they low down, they dirty, they some snitches. And I hate Philadelphia. I hate their colors. I'm not a dog person. I just hate Tennessee, man. Like, and I hate Neyland Stadium. It looks like a garbage truck worker convention. And I hate all their quarterbacks. I hate Tennessee, man. It reminds me, it's not that orange that you can sit. I hate Tennessee more than I hate Auburn. I just dislike Auburn. I hate Tennessee. Tennessee's colors is that throw-up orange. It's not that orange you can sit with. It's that puke inside of pumpkin orange. And I don't like pumpkins. So I really don't like Tennessee, man. I can't stress that enough, man. And they losers, they sore losers because they're not Alabama, and I hate Tennessee, man.
That's everything on here. Thank you, man.
I can't stress that enough. I hate them.
Your quarterback is impressive. I mean, his ability to just escape and make plays on the run, I mean, it's just outstanding what I've seen. And just the defensive side of it as well. There's definitely going to be a concern for me going forward if Alabama doesn't get their offensive line straightened out.
Chelsea, that's a great point. Because
obviously with what I observed the past few seasons, with the defense like missing basic fundamental skills like the open field tackles and those issues, I know they slowly improved those elements over the season, but just not enough when it matters in big games like against Indiana.
Thank you. That was really fantastic. Really do appreciate that.
What is up, Touchdown Tribe? We're back once again, and like I said early on in the show, starting out, we're going to cover the Jalen Carter news, NFL topics, and college football topics as well for today. So let's go ahead and get started. I want to start off with a motivational video. I'm kind of needing that right now. I've got to change it. I meant to do that early on in the show. Well, actually not early on in the show. What am I saying, y'all? I meant to do that before the show, and I forgot. But guess what I did remember to do? I remembered to update my subscriber goal. So we finally updated the subscriber goal, and we're trying to get those first downs on the YouTube field, as I like to say. So the subscriber goal has changed. Y'all, I need to clap it out. Give me 1 second to change this motivational quote. This is the one I'm needing today. It's one of my favorites. But hold on, y'all. I'm already struggling. Gotta clap it out.
Clap it out. Clap it out. Clap it out.
Struggling to use my words. But let me get my larger screen going. There we go. Okay. Now, let's play this motivational video. I see you, Jesse. I see you. First one in the building. Shout out to you. We'll play your drop in just a second. And Jesse, by the way, thank you so much for showing up to CDT Beats' live. That really, you don't know how much that meant to me. Like, because I see people in the chat, like in my chat, and I'm like, man, I'm watching y'all, but I don't see you over at CDT Beats. When I tell y'all, CDT Beats will be live after me, I expect y'all to be there. And whenever you showed up, that really meant a lot to me. So thank you. And it was great seeing y'all connect. I really enjoyed seeing y'all connect over being veterans. That was a sweet moment. Okay, I really liked that. But shout out to you, Jesse. You were perfect in every aspect of the game. Okay, shout out to you.
We will be perfect in every aspect of the game. You drop a pass, you run a mile. You miss a blocking assignment, you run a mile. You fumble the football, and I will break my foot off in your John Brown hind parts. And then you will run a mile. Perfection. Let's go to work.
Let's go to work, y'all. Let's go to work. Okay, starting off with this motivational video. I see you, Tiffany.
One of my favorite quotes till this day. God will put you back together in front of those who broke you.
Man, that always encourages me. And it doesn't matter what you believe in, whether you believe in God or you don't. You have to really trust the process of knowing that things will work out. Like, you will get put back together in front of those who broke you. And I hang my hat on that, okay? That's always encouraging to me. I always go back to that when I'm feeling discouraged. So shout out to that. All right, y'all. You said good evening, Chelsea, in chat. Go Birds. Let's go ahead and play some of y'all's drops since y'all are in the building. Jesse and Tiffany. Started off with Jesse since he was the first one in the building. Let's see. Jesse. Shout out to you, Jesse. And Tiffany, shout out to you. Shout out to Tiffany. All right, y'all, let's get into it because we have Jalen Carter signed to a new deal. So let's read what Adam Sheftner had to say in his post on the latest news. He said, breaking, Eagles are signing two-time Pro Bowl selection Jalen Carter to a 4-year, $152 million extension worth up to $160 million, including $106 million guaranteed. So $106 million is guaranteed to him. That now makes him the highest paid defensive tackle in NFL history. So let's go ahead and get started with this. And it says Carter now will be under contract to the Eagles through the 2031 season. Y'all, oh man, the years are increasing. It's hard to think about 2031. But let's go ahead and see the pros and cons, because I got some pros and cons for this, okay? So here's the pros and cons list to this. So you're getting elite talent. He provides game-wrecking defensive tackle who disrupts the backfield and collapses the pocket. Youth in prime years. So you're getting him while he's young. Market setting. This is what I really like for the Eagles. So it secures the position before the defensive tackle market inflates further in future years. So I kind of like that they did this before the inflates start going on for that position. Cons. Now we got some cons here, okay? Cap space impact. Takes up a large portion of the team's salary cap, limiting how much money is left for other key positions. And you know, I hate to say it, and I'm sure we'll get into this in a little bit later video, because I have one on NFL QBs on the hot seat, and I'm sure they listed, I'll be shocked if I don't see Jalen Hurts on that list. And it's unfortunate. Do I agree with that? No. But I'll be shocked if I don't see Jalen Hurts on that list, because the way everybody talks negative about him, it wouldn't be a surprise to me. But then you have the risk and stability. Y'all, he is a very problemed NFL player. I mean, I don't know how else to say it. He gets himself in a lot of trouble, which he is young, but it is a risk whenever you're paying somebody in that position that much money if they start getting into legal trouble or having a lot of fines within the game. So we'll see what transpires. I think it'll be fine, but you never know. You never know. Like, it's the risk you take, and this goes for anybody. There's always a risk. There's always pros and cons to paying players. It could work out, and then it could also not. Like, it's 50-50, right? But overall, I think this was the best decision for the Eagles, because either way, they needed that, I guess. I would say my biggest worry is probably the risk and stability issue. Paying somebody that much money, and if they continue to have problems on the field, that's where I'm going to be like, yeah, you guys probably shouldn't have paid him. But we'll see what transpires with that. You also have the list of the highest paid defensive tackles for the NFL currently. Okay, so you have Jalen Carter, $38 million. You have Simmons, $35.2 million. Chris Jones, $31.75 million. Dexter Lawrence, and y'all, I didn't realize Dexter Lawrence was paid $28 million. And then you have Milton Williams, $26 million. Man, say that 3 times fast. Milton Williams, $26 million. That's crazy. Okay, but anyways, $152 million 4-year contract, and again, $106 million guaranteed to him. So that is for Jalen Carter. Now let's see what y'all are saying. So let's see. Howie Roseman said, "Let's start camp right." Hey, shout to you, whoever just subscribed. Started from the bottom, now we here. Hey, we got a new subscriber. Hey, I just gained 2. Shout out to y'all. Shout out to y'all who just subscribed to the channel. I wish I didn't have the Jalen Carter update when y'all subscribed. I need to move that up. That's actually a learning thing for me. I'm going to put this at the top of the list, so next time y'all subscribe, it will be front and center. But shout out to y'all for subscribing to the Touchdown Tribe. Okay. So let's see what else y'all are saying. Howie Roseman said, "Let's start camp off right." Yes. Chelsea, they had no choice but to pay him. Yes, exactly, Jesse. No choice. The host sent me just sub. Oh, shout out to that. In the Zone Sports. Shout out to you. Let's see what else we got. Chelsea, the contract looks big, but it includes what they owed him in previous contract and signing bonus. Right. Chelsea, the Jalen Carter extension will save the Eagles over $2 million this season and $20 million next season. Oh, that's great facts, Tiffany. Shout out to you for that. And what is up, Pooh Man? Greatest mod in the YouTube streets. Good to see you in the building. Let's go back to the drops, y'all, because we have Pooh Man here. Here we go.
Rolex wearing. Woo! Diamond ring wearing. Woo! Kiss stealing. Woo! Wheeling dealing. Woo! Limousine ride. Woo! Jet flying. Woo! Sucking on a gun. Woo! And I'm having a hard time holding these alligators down. Give me 2 claps and a Ric Flair. Woo!
Shout out to you, Pooh Man. Okay, we also have Erroneous E in the building. Shout out to you, Erroneous E. Let's play your drop. I gotta find it here. Here we go.
Hey, you a bad
You a bad mother effer. Shout out to you, Erroneous E. Let's see, we got KJ in the building. Shout out to KJ. Okay, let's see what you said. I gotta go to this other screen because I'm curious what you said here, Erroneous E. You always have some good thoughts as well. So let's see. You said he better earn that contract. We don't need an Albert Hainsworth. Get the money and get lazy. Yeah, see, that's when you go to the pros and cons list, that's some of the things that I worry about. It's like the on-field issues that he had. I mean, that's kind of my concerns here. Here we go. Here's the pros and cons list. So risk instability. And like I said, there's risks with anybody getting paid, right? But it requires trusting a player who has faced past off-field immaturity questions with a multi-million-dollar guarantee. So he really has to prove that he has better character, as well as what you alluded to erroneously with, not being lazy. Don't be lazy. You better be getting in with a nutritionist, staying up to date on your health, doing all the things to be what you're worth and what you're getting paid, okay? So I agree with you on that erroneous E. Okay, let's see what else y'all are saying. Chelsea, I probably won't be playing with D-Money anymore. I didn't like the way he timed me out for no reason. Oh, KJ, KJ, don't take that to heart, okay? I mean, D-Money, he means well. Like, he just, he wants the best for you. I will say that. I think D-Money really wants you to, be the best, be perfect in every aspect of the game, okay? Let's see. Here we go.
We will be perfect in every aspect of the game. You drop a pass, you run a mile.
That's all. He's just expecting, he wants the best for you, okay? But don't take that too personal. I think you should still keep playing with D-Money. I mean, I feel like you'll learn a lot playing 3-on-3 with D-Money. So, yeah, I just that made me feel. Don't do that to me. Don't do that to me, KJ. But shout out to you, KJ. Shout out to you. Let's see what else y'all are saying. Oh yeah, and for those of you who don't know what I'm referring to, D-Money has his own channel, and he is a gamer. He plays 3-on-3. So that's what me and KJ are talking about right now. Okay, let's see what else y'all are saying. I think he knows this. He wouldn't have signed him to that much if he didn't think he would be worth it. Yeah, I agree, Tiffany. I mean, but again, they really, if you think about it, the Eagles really had no choice but to pay him because you really needed that position. So I think they're just hoping for the best with Carter right now. Chelsea, a lot of players after getting paid, they get lazy. Yes, Jesse, that's truth. All right, y'all, moving on to the next subject. Let's see. We have something that Pooh Man sent me this, and he knows that I love these topics, but we have the greatest NFL head coaches, and we can see if y'all agree with this, but you have Bill Belichick. I have no issues with Bill Belichick. Hold on, y'all. I just noticed I had turned off my CDT beats whenever people were subscribing because I have that Drake song playing when people subscribe. All right, so you have Bill Belichick. I don't disagree with this. Then you have Vince Lombardi, Tom Landry. Y'all know I'm not going to disagree with Tom Landry, being a Dallas fan. You also have Andy Reid, Joe Gibbs, and Steve. You also have, wait, Dawn. Was that Dawn? Sorry, y'all. The font is small, so it's difficult for me to read. And then you have Mike Tomlin, Jim Kelly, and Chuck Noll. So it says, make your choice. Who is the greatest head coach of all time? Man, I feel like it depends on, I don't know. If you're going off Super Bowl wins, you got to go Bill Belichick. But if we're talking about who I think has the most impact on players, I think Mike Tomlin had a heavy impact on his players. What they learned from Mike Tomlin, a lot of people on the team were sad to see him go, so maybe I'm a little bit biased to Mike Tomlin, I don't know, but I really liked Mike Tomlin. So let me know what y'all think. Who do you think is the greatest NFL head coach of all time? All right, hold on, y'all. Let's see. I also have another one as well, but I'll wait to see if y'all have any thoughts. If not, we will move on to the next one. But I gave y'all my thoughts. My thoughts is Bill Belichick. If we're going off like the accolades, I go Bill Belichick. Jesse, you said Landry or Belichump. Depends on specifics. Yeah. Now, I like Landry. I do. I mean, obviously I wasn't around when Landry was there, but historically, I liked Landry. But, I mean, overall, you gotta go Bill Belichick. Regardless, okay, I know people get into the whole cheating scandal thing with Bill Belichick. I get it, right? But I think either way, you gotta give it to Bill Belichick because he knew the loopholes. He knew how to get around things. Even if it was true that he cheated, at least he knew the loopholes, right? Like, he knew how to get away with it. If that was the case. So, I don't know. I really, I have to say Bill Belichick. Okay. So, moving on, we also have, you said, where's Vince Lombardi? Vince Lombardi was on there. Vince Lombardi was second. If you look at the list, so you have Bill Belichick 1, Vince Lombardi 2, 3 is Tom Landry. So, Vince Lombardi was second. And Vince Lombardi had 5 Super Bowls, and Bill Belichick, I thought Bill Belichick had 7 Super Bowls, but am I tripping? Anyways, there's that one. Moving on to the best defensive draft class. Y'all, I think if we're going off recent, I think they had it right for the 2021 draft class. I mean, y'all might have difficulty seeing this. Let me see if I can expand it. Y'all, it will hide my face for just one moment, but see if y'all can see this list better. So you have Micah Parsons, Patrick Surtain, and what was his name? Is it Jalen, or for some reason I thought it was Jaden Phillips. But you have Phillips at 3. But I really like the one they did for 2021. Having Micah Parsons. I don't know if I would put Micah Parsons at 1, though. That's my thing. I would probably reorder it. I would say Patrick Surtain at 1, Micah Parsons at 2, and then put Phillips at 3. That's the only thing I would do differently. 2014, you have Donald, Mack, and Mosley. Wow, I didn't realize CJ Mosley made that list. I ain't mad at that, y'all. Roll Tide. You got Miller, JJ Watt, Sherman in 2011, 2007. Let's see who you have. I can't read those names. I can only read the ones from 2011, 2014, and 2021. But I'm not mad at this list. I like the one for 2021. It's just the only thing I would do differently is I would put Patrick Surtain at 1 because he's been the most consistent. And then Micah Parsons at 2, and then Phillips at 3. So there's that list. Did we address Jalen Carter yet? Yes, we did address Jalen Carter, but I have no trouble going back to that. We can go back to that. Again, y'all, for those of you who just came in, shout out to the International Quiet Storm. Since he's here, let's play his drop. Here we go.
Hey man, say man, word of the day, man. One bitch, two bitch, old bitch, new bitch. I ain't fucking with no hoe that don't do shit. So all you tired ass hoes, always asking for food, ain't never in the mood, bitch, fuck you. It's pimpin', hoe.
Y'all, that was great. Shout out to the International Quiet Storm. Okay, So for those of you who just came in, we covered the Jalen Carter topic, but the Eagles have signed two-time Pro Bowl selection Jalen Carter to a 4-year, $152 million extension worth up to $160 million, including $106 million guaranteed. That now makes him the highest paid defensive tackle in NFL history. So there's the update on Jalen Carter, and I got into the pros and cons list of signing Jalen Carter, and here it is. You get elite talent, you get youth in his prime. That's true, not mad at that. Market setting, it secures the position before the defensive tackle market inflates further in future years. Now, the cons to this is cap space impact as well as risk and stability. Now, this is where I have my concerns with this, is his on-field issues and off-field issues. He's had to pay fines. He's had, trouble off the field. So that's where I'm looking, is after you paid all this money to him, will he be more mature and not problematic? That's going to be my concern. And it's like Erroneous E and Jesse were talking about. Most of the time, more times than not, when you pay someone all this money, they tend to get lazy. So we'll see what happens with this. I see it either way, right? $38 million per year is insane. Yeah. Highest paid. So you have, and here's the list once again for the highest paid defensive tackles in the NFL. So you have Jalen Carter, $38 million. Simmons, $35.2 million. Chris Jones, $31.75 million. Dexter Lawrence, you have him at $28 million. And Milton Williams at $26 million. So I feel like when I say they, I mean whoever represents Jalen Carter. I really feel like they probably won this because they knew that the Eagles needed that position. I feel like they kind of forced the Eagles' hands with this one, but we'll see if it pays off for him. Like, we'll see. Well, when I say pays off, I should refer to the Eagles. Like, we'll see if it pays off for the Eagles. A lot of eyes are on the Eagles right now, so we'll see what transpires with that. So once again, there's the news on Jalen Carter. Now moving on, y'all. So Pooh Man sent me this video. I also have one from Derek. It's a short one. I'm gonna play that one first. So shout out to Derek because he sent me this video. So it's 5 overrated players. I'm interested to see who's on this list, but shout out to Derek once again for sending me this video.
These are the top 5 most overrated players in NFL history, and number 1 is going to make Dallas fans absolutely furious. Let's get into it. Starting at number 5, Troy Aikman. Look,
Whoa.
3 rings are great.
Whoa, what? Troy Aikman? How did Troy Aikman make this list? Okay, tell me how. All right, I ain't mad, but win me over with this thought process.
But Aikman was a passenger on a spaceship. He played behind the greatest offensive line ever, alongside the NFL's all-time leading rusher. He never threw for 3,500 yards or 25 touchdowns in a single season.
Right off the bat, I really don't like that argument. I hate when we get into like the passing thing with quarterbacks. It's like, okay, first of all, of course a quarterback has to have all the pieces to win, right? A quarterback's not going to get there on their own. Like, they have to have a great defense. You have to have a good offensive line protecting you. You have to have wide receivers that don't drop passes, shout out CeeDee Lamb, to get to a Super Bowl. So I don't like when that argument's made on certain players. It's like, don't discredit his talent just because he had key players around him. Now, second, getting into the passing. I don't like that because it was a different style of football. So, you know, you have, I mean, I say different style. I feel like, you know, you have your quarterbacks who are dual threat quarterbacks and who can get it with their legs as well as pass. And you can use Jalen Hurts as an example for that. And I think dual threat quarterbacks are talented. I don't knock them for that. I mean, look at Lamar Jackson too. He's a talent. He's a dual threat quarterback. So that's kind of, I don't know. That's kind of, you're not really winning me over with this so far, but keep going.
Number 4, Odell Beckham Jr. One insane gravity-defying catch in 2014 built a multi-million-dollar brand. But after 2016, injuries took over and the production fell off a cliff. I
guess I would agree with that. You know, I would agree with that, but you also have a lot of issues with the Giants organization. Like, they made a lot of mistakes, and you can use Saquon Barkley as an example of that. Look at what happened with Saquon Barkley. Like, he was not getting the numbers he needed. We all knew he was a talent. I mean, we just had to see him on a different team. But there was question marks with Saquon Barkley as well because he had previous injuries. And it's like, what are you going to get if you put him on a different team? Well, the Eagles proved to you what you can get with Saquon Barkley. He ended up winning a Super Bowl and doing outstanding, making crazy plays. So I don't know if I can say that Odell Beckham Jr. was overrated. I feel like he was a player who was on a team with unfortunate circumstances. Oh yeah, no problem, International Quiet Storm. That was... Saquon was pissed. Okay, yeah. Are you talking about that he was mad at the Eagles?
Treated like a top 3 wide receiver for a decade, but he only has 3 elite seasons to his name. Number 3, Broadway, Joe Namath. Hall of Fame.
Joe Namath? You put Joe Namath on the list? I mean, I'm not mad. I actually read his book. I read his book not long ago, and I enjoyed reading his book.
For what? A guaranteed Super Bowl win?
Didn't he play for
Let's
the Jets?
look at the actual football. Joe threw 173 touchdowns to 220 interceptions. He threw 47 more picks.
I thought he played for the Jets. I know he played for Alabama.
Than scores and completed 50% of his passes. If he played today, he'd be benched by week 4.
If he played today, he'd be benched by week 4. I ain't mad at the Joe Namath one. Yeah, you said Joe Namath is overrated. I'm not mad at this one.
Number 2, Eli Manning. He is the...
Okay, Jesse. Now it's getting interesting. How did they put Eli Manning on the list? I don't agree with the Eli Manning one.
The ultimate giant killer for beating Tom Brady twice, but let's stop pretending his whole career was
They're going to probably bring up the interceptions and everything, but you can't discredit his talent. He was a winning quarterback.
elite. Eli finished with a perfectly average 117 and 117 regular season record. He led the entire NFL in interceptions 3 separate times.
He also won Super Bowls. I mean, okay, so here's my thing with Eli Manning in the interceptions. Sometimes you have quarterbacks who are going to throw passes who are just taking risks. Sometimes they want to take the risk. They want to trust their guys. They want to make these passes. And I can't all the time get mad at them for that. But you also got to factor in other circumstances. People don't consider the fact that quarterbacks can make a pass and the ball can ricochet or something crazy can happen, right? People don't take those things into consideration. It's not necessarily a quarterback's fault when some crazy play happens like that. So, I don't know. Like, I don't like this. Eli beat the GOAT 2 times. What are you talking about? Yeah. Yeah, I agree. Like, I don't like putting Eli Manning on this list. Yeah, and I do believe that Eli will eventually get a Hall of Fame.
As 0 first-team All-Pros. Before we proceed, who is the most overrated player in the NFL right now? And number 1, Dak Prescott.
I don't agree with that. I don't agree with that. Dak Prescott, he's another one you can add to the list who is a talented QB that's just on a team with unfortunate circumstances. He hasn't always had the pieces he needs to win a Super Bowl. And you can look at the defense. Look at Dallas's defense, for example. It's consistently been bad. The only time we had a decent defense was when Dan Quinn was there. But then what else happened? You had a horrible run game. So there was always something factoring into why Dak couldn't succeed. But Dak is, I would say Dak is a talented quarterback. And you can't use the interception argument for Eli and say that Eli is talented and overlook the interceptions and not do the same for Dak Prescott. If you're going to overlook the interceptions, you have to do the same for Dak Prescott as well. Yeah, Tiffany, here's my thing with that. It's like it goes back to, it didn't matter if they had 6 Pro Bowlers because there was always something going on for Dallas. Consistently, you had the defense horrible. The only time it was decent was under Dan Quinn, but even then, they always struggled to stop the run. It didn't matter if you had Michael Parsons. It didn't matter if you had Trayvon Diggs. It didn't matter who you had on that defense. They always had consistent trouble stopping the run. Then you factor in on offense. The offense, you look at what happened with Ezekiel Elliott. Ezekiel Elliott was good at the start, but eventually, you know, he started to fall off. And Dallas, you know, we talked about Jalen Carter, what could happen as a result if you pay a player so much money. And I look at Ezekiel Elliott. What happened with them? They paid Ezekiel Elliott all that money just to have him have career high fumbles and not be as good as he once was. So there was just always something going on with Dallas. It didn't matter if we had Pro Bowlers on our team. There was just always something that we had an issue with, and it was a major problem. Yeah, Jerry Jones gave away your team. Yeah, we can agree on that.
The man gets paid like a top 3 quarterback every single contract cycle, gets MVP hype every November, and completely dissolves into thin air every January.
You can't put that I don't agree with this. You can't put that solely on Dak Prescott. Because again, it goes back to the defense. He's had consistent trouble with the defense. You also have the offensive line collapsing. You also look at CeeDee Lamb dropping passes. I mean, that's not good. Like, tell me how. Oh man, I get so heated over the CeeDee Lamb thing. But I'm going to talk about it once again, y'all. I'm going to get into it. Let's see. I have a drop for this too. Every time I say, okay, I'm not going to talk about it, and then I end up getting into it. Did I pass it? I think I passed it, y'all.
So I'm not going to talk about it. I actually am going to talk about it a little bit.
That's me every time.
These are the top 5 most overrated players in NFL history, and number 1 is going to make Dallas fans absolutely furious. Let's get in.
Where Dak was on this list. Okay, there we go. Now, here's my thing with CeeDee Lamb. Okay, you can't claim someone as your top wide receiver, and yet he has the highest leading drop passes in the NFL since 2020. He got outperformed by Pickens, and he only missed 3 games. The argument from Dallas fans is like, well, he missed games. He was injured. Miss me with that. Miss me with that BS, because let me tell you, it was 3 games early in the season. I'm about to turn into Stephen A right now, okay? 3 games early in the season, and you mean to tell me that he couldn't improve and get better? He had like 14 games to do it. And I mean, you're telling me that he couldn't improve the mechanics? No, missed me with that. 8 drop passes and only 3 touchdowns, and you're making claims he is the best wide receiver. Missed me with that. Because Pickens had like, what, 9 touchdowns and over 1,400 yards, and what else? Only 3 drop passes? Look at Devontae Smith. Devontae Smith had 4 touchdowns. I mean, I will say this. Devontae Smith had a little bit less yards than CeeDee Lamb, but he was at every game. Devontae Smith didn't miss a game. He had still over 1,000 yards and 4 touchdowns. So he had 1 more touchdown over CeeDee Lamb. I'm not making excuses for that. So it's like I said, it goes back to Dak Prescott has always had issues with other players on the team or the defense. There's always been some sort of consistent issue with Dak Prescott with other teammates. Now, I think Dak Prescott is a talented quarterback. If you put him in any other team, I think he would succeed. Now, when I say any other team, I mean someone that has something to offer him, okay? But I really think if you put him, for example, I think if you put him even at the Eagles, he would succeed. If you put him with the Chiefs, he would succeed. If you put him with any other team that has a, successful coaching and overall great team, he will do great. But like I said, Dak Prescott is someone who's at a team with unfortunate circumstances, okay? Chelsea, I think Smitty is better than CeeDee Lamb. Tiffany, I agree. Tiffany, oh my gosh, I agree. Let's see, y'all. Okay, Tiffany, you kind of making me want to. I was gonna get into something else, but Tiffany, you kind of making me want to play this other video. I'm going to get back to this other one because it's ironic, y'all. I'm talking about quarterbacks who go to considerably bad teams, and Pooh Man actually sent me a video on this very subject. Pooh Man knows me so well, y'all, because I'm telling you, this is something I've been talking about. Quarterbacks who go to bad teams, I'm not a fan of it. But since you said that you think Smitty is a better wide receiver, I do have this video on Devontae Smith, and it's his best catches. I think I'm going to watch it. I think I'm going to watch it. What'd you say, Renzi? I strongly disagree with your Dak and Eli take. I mean, that's fine. We can agree to disagree on it. My take on it is just the fact that... Wait, which part? Are you talking about being overrated, I'm assuming? I mean, how can you take that away from Eli? Like, Eli won Super Bowl. He also beat Tom Brady. Even though he had, like, the high interceptions, I don't hold that against him because, like I said, people don't consider other factors that go into it. So you can have passes where a quarterback will throw and it ricochets off the hands of a wide receiver into the arms of a CB. So I take those things into consideration when I look at interceptions. I don't just go assuming, hey, this quarterback's terrible. He threw directly to a CB and lost this game. I don't look at things like that. I don't look at it that way. I understand not everybody will take those things into consideration, but that's just how I view things. I like to take everything into consideration and break everything down before I just go assuming somebody's bad. Eli never beat the GOAT Peyton, and he was never top 3 QB in the league. Dak has had good team, and he choked. When? Erroneously, now I can make an argument for that. When has Dak had a good team? Because I guarantee you, I can make an argument of why it really wasn't a good team. It wasn't a team that could get him all the way. I can make an argument for that. If you want to bring up the game against San Francisco, if you want to bring up the game against Green Bay, what happened to Dallas Cowboys? The defense couldn't stop the run. So again, it goes back to having consistent issues with the defense. Also, you look at the offense. What was a consistent issue? You had running game problems. They were trying to utilize Ezekiel Elliott when Ezekiel Elliott wasn't what he once was. So that was a problem. I talked about CeeDee Lamb with his drop passes. I mean, it's always something. It's always something. Also, this is another thing that got me, y'all, at the time. We didn't have Aubrey, our kicker. We had Meyer. What was his name? Brett? I don't know what. I can't remember his name. Something Meyer. Horrible kicker. Horrible kicker. He was missing every field goal. I mean, it was bad. And I'll never forget, I was watching the Manning cast, and Eli and Peyton, they were reacting to the game, and every time Dallas, Mike McCarthy made the decision to let that kicker kick, it was bad. And Eli, it wasn't Eli, it was Peyton. Peyton got up and was like, what are we doing? And I was like, man, this is like me and my dad watching the game, because I'm like Peyton getting up out of my seat, like, what are we doing? And my dad is like Eli, being calm, cool, and collected. But it was so funny. But I mean, there's just always been something with Dallas. No team has zero weaknesses. Every team has holes. That's an excuse. No, not every team. This goes back to this.
We will be perfect in every aspect of the game.
You have to be perfect in every aspect of the game, or you're not going to win. If you don't have a good defense, you're not going to win. If you don't have your offensive line good, you're not going to win. If you don't have a running back who can run the ball and make plays, you're not going to win. If you don't have a QB that can make passes, you're not going to win. Everybody has to be perfect in every aspect of the game. If you have a weakness, you're going to lose. The best is going to win. That's how it goes. If you have a team that has a weakness and it gets exposed, you're going to lose. It's okay, Chelsea. If y'all keep Prescott for 10 more years, he'll eventually win something. Man, I'm telling you, I think it's near the end for Dak Prescott. But like I said, I have a video on that as well. I want to get into what you said. I mean, Erroneous C got me distracted, but Tiffany, I want to go back to your comment on Smitty being the better wide receiver. I agree with that, because when you have a what did I say? Did I say? Okay, yeah, I said Smitty. But when you have a wide receiver who is more consistent on the field, he is also in all regards more reliable and had more touchdowns. I just overall I like him better than I like CeeDee Lamb. And here's why. Here we're gonna watch some of Devontae Smith's best catches. Oh wait, did I delete the video? Y'all, I deleted the video. Hold on, let me see if I still have it. I could have just not added it. Give me 1 second. I was like, man, what in the world's going on? Hopefully I didn't delete it. If I did, I'll add it back and we'll watch it tomorrow. Actually, I said we'll watch it tomorrow. I don't know if I'll go live tomorrow. Let's see, where would it be at? Here we go. I found it. Yay, I still have it. Okay, great.
They didn't like that one. 3rd and 20.
Okay, so this is Devontae Smith's best catches.
2. Hurts looking end zone for...
This one's my favorite. We're starting off strong. This is a one-handed catch. Now, this is things that Devontae Smith was doing even at Alabama.
And makes the adjustment. Did he get the feet in? Touchdown! What a catch!
Unbelievable catch by Devontae.
One thing about Alabama, they were bringing in wide receivers that can make these Houdini type catches. Well, I call them Michael Jackson type catches, where the footwork is just so incredible.
I think the feet were more impressive than the catch.
Now the Eagles get it back. We're going to run some clock, or maybe throw the dagger. Hurts going deep for it all. Devontae Smith!
That was the best commentating in an NFL game. I mean, in my opinion.
He has got it! Touchdown! Wow! Forget run the clock. That's the dagger.
Third and goal. Hurts rolling right. Throws to the end zone. Did he stay in bounds? No signal yet. Now there it is. Touchdown.
That's gorgeous.
Touchdown, Philadelphia.
That is beautiful.
Look at that. Look at my pause game, y'all. That pause game was great, but it's these type of Michael Jackson catches that Alabama is known for with building up wide receivers. Look at Julio Jones. Look at Amari Cooper. Look at Waddle. I mean, it's unreal. I'm such a fan of the footwork. And I would assume that Alabama, I don't know if they still have the same wide receiver coach they did whenever Nick Saban was there, but hats off to the wide receiver coach who was coaching up Julio Jones, coaching up Devontae Smith, Amari Cooper, and all of those guys, because the footwork, the emphasis on the footwork is so impressive.
Beautiful. Why'd they draft this guy first round? This is why.
They need three. Hurts runs out of the pocket, looking for a deep Devontae Smith. One-hander. It's the end.
Go Creaky. You said, I'm out and about with your daughter. Just dropping in for a second. Shout out to that. Hold on. We're a minute and 4 seconds in. Let's play Go Creaky's drop for a second here. So here we go. Shout out to Go Creaky.
The Muffin Man?
The Muffin Man?
The Muffin Man.
Yes, I know the Muffin Man. Who lives on Drury Lane?
Shout out to you, Go Creaky.
They didn't like that one. 3rd and 22.
All right, let's go back. We were a minute in. There we go. What'd you say? I've always argued Devontae Smith being better than AJ. AJ was one of the best contested catchers in the league. Struggles to create separation. Devontae's route tree is way more expansive. And I agree with that, Erroneous C. Now, I think that the contested... I would make an argument on the contested catches, though. AJ's catches, I don't think they're near dang as impressive as some of Devontae Smith's one-handed catches, because these are catches that I've compared to Amari Cooper. Amari Cooper was making one-handed catches like this, and it's brilliant. The footwork is there, the route running. I mean, it's the Michael Jackson type footwork that you get. It's just overall better quality, in my opinion. The only thing with Devontae Smith that people like to point out is the size. They're always going to point out his size, but he's not let that stop him. So
Philadelphia,
Just an absolutely remarkable catch.
2nd down and 8 here for the Eagles. Fake it to Barkley. Hurts, sets, throws, looking for the home run ball. End zone! Devontae Smith! Touchdown!
Okay, we won't watch all of these, but this is why I think that Devontae Smith is better than CeeDee Lamb. That's not to say, y'all, I feel like Dallas fans think I hate CeeDee Lamb. I don't hate CeeDee Lamb. I just look at the facts. I just look at what it is with CeeDee Lamb and I call it out. Like, that's all it is. It's not that I don't think he's a talent. He's in the pros for a reason. He's still a talent. I've seen him make outstanding catches, right? I just don't think he's the best. I can't say he's the best when he got outperformed by Pickens. And I don't make excuses for him either for, being injured. Because, again, he only missed 3 games early in the season. And he had, 11 or 14 games to improve and get better. So, I can't get behind that. But let's finish this play out.
Over the shoulder! Spectacular!
Beautiful catch from Devontae Smith, but you know, maybe I'm a little bit biased. Y'all know. Maybe I'm a little bit biased when it comes to Devontae Smith. Let's see, where's it at? I think I'm overlooking it. Here we go.
That's just me.
All
Now,
I
maybe
know
I'm biased a little bit. Maybe I'm biased a lot of bit. But who cares for this discussion?
And when I say I'm biased, y'all, I'm joking. I'm really not biased. I just look at, you know, the facts of things. And I think Devontae Smith is just one of my favorite wide receivers since college and NFL. I mean, just some of those one-handed catches. I know that people love Jamar Chase. I love Jamar Chase too. Okay, so Jamar Chase is one of my top favorites as well. People talk about Justin Jefferson. Justin Jefferson, he's another one that I look at. I know that he had some quarterback issues that caused his stats to not be what they once were, but I take that into consideration and I'm like, well, I mean, it is a factor. It did impact him, so I dropped Justin Jefferson just a little bit, but my favorite to watch is Devontae Smith. It's just impressive seeing his size and what he can do. Oh, yeah. I've talked about that erroneously. Devontae Smith put on weight. He been in the gym. He been eating that. Okay, so I don't know if y'all are familiar with this, but Alabama had this thing where they had a special diet for underweight athletes, and they had to eat 2 jars, large peanut butter jars, a day, every day. It didn't matter if you were just eating it straight out of the jar. It didn't matter if you were putting it in a shake. It didn't matter if you were, you know, eating it with peanut butter and jellies. It didn't matter. But you had to make sure you consumed 2 large peanut butter jars a day. I don't know if Devontae Smith's been on that diet, but it's working, y'all. He put on that muscle. He put on that weight. So shout out to Devontae Smith for putting in that work. All right, that got me distracted, but moving on to the topic of what Pooh Man sent me, and this is something that you always hear me discuss, and it's good players going to bad teams. I talk about that being one of my pet peeves. Did I not? Y'all, I'm gonna be so mad. I didn't add that video. Y'all, we do it live. F it, we do it live. I still have not added that as a drop, but I'll get to it eventually. Let's see. Which one is it? Here we go.
QB1, #1 overall, kiss of death for NFL franchises. What should they do otherwise? And is one of those highly drafted quarterbacks throwing his team under the bus in this week's Peacock and Williamson mailbag right now?
NFL analyst Brian Peacock and former NFL scout Matt Williamson bring you expert NFL analysis every day in less than 30 minutes.
Y'all,
Get an insight.
I don't think I'm subscribed to their channel. I need to go subscribe to them.
Look at the NFL on the field and in the front office with elite breakdowns to next level analysis
And things we cover and why people like to tune into our show. And we're going to talk about quarterbacks and structure and some coaching. That is the heaviness of our mailbag this week going into week 7. And it starts with a question about the Miami Dolphins and Tua Tagovailoa. Now, I know Tua wasn't a #1 overall pick, but we're going to tie all this together with the first few questions because this cycle that we see in the NFL is nonstop. And I don't know what the correct answer is, but it's, you know, you draft a quarterback, you fire a coach, you draft a new quarterback, you fire a coach, and none of this seems to ever end for these teams that are in this cycle of never ending trying to find themselves a coach and a quarterback that stick together long term.
All right,
and
Jerry has
shout out to Smoke and Talk in the building. What's up, Smoke and Talk? Let's play your drop.
Lamar Jackson, ball till you fall.
Ball till you fall. Hey, Smoke and Talk, I do have
QB1, #1 overall.
a video covering Lamar Jackson. So I'm excited to get into that. and it's going to talk about their Super Bowl chances. So we'll see what they have to say.
Use our promo code LOCKEDONNFL to get $20 off your first purchase with Game Time. All right, Matt, let's get into this mailbag here for week 7. And as we do, we kind of geek out on team building. It's one of the main things we cover and why people like to tune into our show. And we're going to talk about quarterbacks and structure and some coaching. That is the heaviness of our mailbag this week going into week 7. And it starts with a question about the Miami Dolphins and Tua Tagovailoa. Now, I know Tua wasn't a number 1 overall pick, but we're going to tie all this together with the first few questions because this cycle that we see in the NFL is nonstop. And I don't know what the correct answer is, but it's, you draft a quarterback, you fire a coach, you draft a new quarterback, you fire a coach, and none of this seems to ever.
It's a cycle. Yeah, it's such a cycle. You see them fire their coach, then they draft a quarterback, and it's like, why are you sending a number 1 quarterback draft pick to a team that's not established? This is why that's my biggest pet peeve. This is why I didn't want Ty Simpson going to the Arizona Cardinals. I was like, please, Lord, do not send him to the Arizona Cardinals. That would just be disastrous. I heard Ty Simpson speak on this, and y'all, it sounded like he had considerable fear of going to the Arizona Cardinals. Like, that was the last place he wanted to go. Obviously, if he was to have been drafted there, he would have handled that graciously, but it just sounded like it was stressing. Maybe fear is not the right word. Fear is not the right word, okay? Scratch that. I would say it sounded like he had stress. It was stressing him. But the fact that he went to the Rams, where he can develop under Matthew Stafford, that was the best situation for him. I don't like seeing these NFL, well, not NFL, but these college high prospect quarterbacks going to bad NFL teams. I feel like this past draft did a lot better on that. For example, you had Mendoza going to the Raiders. Well, the Raiders, and shout out to, I'm sure Tom Brady had some input on this, but they got Kirk Cousins, somebody who's established in the league, a veteran, to help develop him. So I'm a fan of that. And then also you had Ty Simpson, right? Carson Beck, though. Carson Beck out of Georgia. He also played for Miami. He went to the Arizona Cardinals. Y'all, I don't know how I feel about that one. We'll see what happens, because you just never know. It could turn around and surprise me, right? But that one I'm concerned with. I got my eyes on that one. If he ends up starting, I will be locked in on that. I know that Arizona Cardinals signed, what was his name? His last name starts with a B. Is it Bassett or something like that? I know that the Cardinals worked out a deal with him. I'm not too locked in on who's starting, like what QB situation they got going on at the Cardinals. But Carson Beck, I feel for him. If he ends up starting, I really feel for him. Shout out to G Honda in the building as well. But G Honda, hey, Smoke and Talk, you're still here. Whoever wants to time G Honda out, have at it, because G Honda, you getting benched for that. Do not talk about Lamar Jackson like that.
And for these teams that are in this cycle of never-ending trying to find themselves a coach and a quarterback that stick together long-term. And Jerry has the question. We're going to get to the Titans who have seen everything over the course of the last 6 months of that entire cycle. But let's go to the Dolphins first, because Jerry has a question about Tua and his comments calling out.
Y'all, okay, we're back. We've got storms going on in the area, okay? There's bad thunderstorms. It was doing good for a while, but we'll see what shakes. We'll see. You know, my internet's been doing better. I've been doing a ton of speed tests, and it's been doing better. But for whatever reason, when it storms, it wants to act up. So we'll see how the show continues to go. Either way, I'm trying to get my YouTube hours in, okay?
for when
and
doing
speaking
it
of
privately.
which, shout out to y'all who have subscribed today. I'm so glad we got to hear my little started from the bottom, now we here. I was so excited to hear that. I was so hyped over that. So shout out to those who have subscribed. I also updated my subscriber goal as well. You know, trying to get those first downs on the YouTube field, and our next goal is 490. So trying to get to 490, and can't do that without y'all's help. And I'm excited. You know, we're all in this journey together. So shout out to y'all for helping me.
Has not yet worked.
So I have mixed feelings about this. I mean, I think what he's referring to is Tua publicly said people aren't going to the players only optional meetings, you know, and
so
maybe they should be
past issues. I don't know if we'll watch the whole thing, but I do want to get into what he said before, because this is talking about when Tua was still at Miami and all of that.
Trying to find themselves a coach and a quarterback that stick together long term. And Jerry has the question. We're going to get to the Titans who have seen everything over the course of the last 6 months of that entire cycle. But let's go to the Dolphins first, because Jerry has a question about Tua and his comments calling out his teammates publicly. And Jerry's wondering, is that the right move at a certain point? Was it the right move for Tua here? Is it something you should never, ever do?
Maybe it was
or
earlier on. Let's see. If not, it's no big deal, because I remember what he said.
The Game Time app right now and create an account. Use our promo code LOCKEDONNFL to get $20 off your first purchase with Game Time. All right, Matt, let's get into this mailbag here for week 7. And as we do, we kind of geek out on team building. It's one of the main things we cover and why people like to tune into our show. And we're going to talk about quarterbacks and structure and some coaching. That is the heaviness of our mailbag this week going into week 7. And it starts with a question about the Miami Dolphins and Tua Tagovailoa. Now, I know Tua wasn't a number 1 overall pick, but we're going to tie all this together with the first few questions, because this cycle that we see in the NFL is nonstop. And I don't know what the correct answer is, but it's, you know, you draft a quarterback, you fire a coach, you draft a new quarterback, you fire a coach, and none of this seems to ever end for these teams that are in this cycle of never ending trying to find themselves a coach and a quarterback that stick together long term. And Jerry has the question. We're going to get to the Titans who have
So I agree with that. The cycle of the coaching carousel and then the teams drafting a number 1 quarterback, I'm not a fan of that. Like, bad teams, quarterbacks going to bad teams, not a fan of that. Like I said, I think they did better this past season, but my number 1 pet peeve is when you fire a head coach, you have GM issues, and then you draft a number 1 quarterback when you don't even have an organization established or coaching established. It's not good. It's not a good situation. You are wasting talent. You are wasting a quarterback's talent, sending him to a team that can't help him grow. And that is so unfortunate. That's why it's my number 1 pet peeve. All right, y'all, moving on to QB hot seat list. I'm interested to see, is Jalen Hurts on this list? Is Dak Prescott on this list? And who else they possibly name? Maybe Lamar Jackson? I don't know. Let's get into this.
Sports put out their quarterbacks on the hot seat.
That if there's one thing that triggers me, it's speakeasy. You know, we talked yesterday about Malika Andrews, how she tends to trigger many people with what she says. Obviously, I gave you all the details on how the business works. She has producers. If you want to have a problem with Malika Andrews, you should really take it up with the producers, because at the end of the day, these are not words solely from Malika Andrews. It's from her show producers. And we covered Ryan Clark as well. Ryan Clark even talked about some of the shady things that a producer will have you say or do, and it's in order to draw ratings, right? But if you want to have a problem with Malika Andrews, you should really look into the producers, because the producers at the end of the day are the ones telling her what to say. They have it on a teleprompter. She's reading headlines. These aren't her words. It comes from the show producers. But anyways, I talked about that, how, you know, that can trigger a lot of people. Well, something that triggers me is Speakeasy. Speakeasy has a similar method. They will say and do things that draw in ratings and gets people reacting and talking. So it's a smart tactic, and here I am. I'm one of them. People will react to what Malika Andrews has to say, and here I am reacting to what Speakeasy has to say. So let's get started.
They put Bryce Young, CJ Stroud, Baker Mayfield, Shedeur Sanders, and Deshaun Watson, Kyler Murray, and Jalen Hurts as their quarterbacks on the hot seat.
Okay, let's take a look. Who is on this hot seat list? Man, I can't see that. Let's see if I can't decipher. Oh, CJ Stroud. I didn't think about CJ Stroud, y'all. I see the Texans emblem. Let me see if I can't zoom in. Wait, they have Bryce Young on the list, I think. Bryce Young, I'm not mad at that one. We're gonna zoom in, y'all. See if I can't read this. Bryce Young, number 1. CJ Stroud, number 2. Baker Mayfield. Y'all, I'm a little shocked that Baker Mayfield made the list. Here's why I'm surprised that Baker Mayfield made this list. It's because he sent them to a playoff. Like, I don't know. Like, oh man. You have Sanders. How could Sanders? Okay, I guess I get it, but Sanders hasn't even played. Like, is he gonna even start? I mean, what's the question with that? Like, would he just be on the hot seat because they need to save on? I don't know why Sanders would be on the hot seat, but okay. Watson, I would agree with. Okay, so I would take Sanders off. I really don't think Sanders is at risk. I would take Sanders off, leave Watson. Kyler Murray, I agree with. Jalen Hurts, obviously, I get why Jalen Hurts is on the hot seat, because that's all anybody ever wants to talk about. Here's what I would do. I would replace Sanders with Dak Prescott, because Dak Prescott, I'm looking at his age, I'm looking at, you know, previous issues. Like, I would put Dak Prescott on the list over Sanders. Sanders, that's one I'm not really understanding. I mean, unless it's just, you know, you can't have that, you know, full of a QB room. I don't know. But I would take Sanders off and replace it with Dak Prescott. Let's see what y'all are saying. What are y'all talking about? Speakeasy are clowns? Yeah. And again, y'all, keep in mind, I'm not saying that none of this isn't true about Malika Andrews, but you got to think, these aren't her words. Like, she's reading from a teleprompter. I broke down that video from the Do Better podcast with Theo Coop that Pooh Man sent me, and I showed y'all, I pointed it out. I was like, look, I see her reading from the teleprompter. I know that the show producers, she has the earpiece in her ear. I know the show producers are telling her what to say, what to do. And even the same thing was said with Ryan Clark. Ryan Clark even talked about this. And I can speak on this just because, you know, I have friends that work at ESPN, right? So they've told me, the ones that can go without an earpiece, who know their information. But there's a lot of shady things that the producers will have you do. And Ryan Clark even spoke on this. He said that after the Peter Schrager incident, whenever they were breaking down the previous segment, the show producer was like, hey, why didn't you get more angry? I wanted you to be more angry here with what you were saying. It's just part of it. They want Malika Andrews to be the villain, to get people talking. I mean, but I guess, you know, people are going to hate regardless, so I get it. I get it. Anyways, okay, moving on. Let's see what else they have to say.
Which quarterback do you guys think has the hottest seat heading into this season? And also, Shador being on this list seems a little insane.
Okay, so
I'm not gonna lie.
I rarely agree with Speakeasy, but I thought putting Shador on this list over Dak Prescott, y'all, he's older. You know, I'm not saying that he's not talented, but it's like he's at the end. Like the Dallas Cowboys used him up. It's like he's at the end to me. So I don't know how you I would put Dak Prescott over Sanders in my opinion.
All right, look, Prize Picks is America's #1 sports picks.
I think shout out to me, okay? Because I think I have it figured out where the personal ads for Speakeasy ends. So let's see. Right about here, I think. There we go.
Quarterbacks on the hottest seat: Kyler Murray, Deshaun Watson, Shador Sanders. Those are the three quarterbacks where if they play significant football this year and they struggle in the significant football they play, they will not start
yesterday
again.
I talked about the business side of it, right? Okay. I will say this, Tiffany. Many of them, I can't speak for the executives, right? But many of them know the information, they know the sport, they know it. But when it comes to bringing in ratings, bringing in views, and all of that, they have to say things that will get people talking. It's just the business side of it. It's nothing personal, y'all. It's just business, okay? It's just business. Half the stuff they tell you might be true. Half of it might not be, okay? It's just business, okay? Let's see. Let me find that drop.
Half of the shit I tell you might be the truth, half but it might not be, man. This shit business, man.
It's just business. Don't.
Sports put out.
That's why I always try to tell people, don't read too much into it. Don't take it too serious. Take it with a grain of salt, because a lot of times it's just a tactic to get people talking and bring in views. That's all it is. Doesn't mean they necessarily believe it's true. Do I think that Speakeasy believes half the things they say on the show? No. I just know they're doing it to bring in viewers and get people talking. And I'm one of them. I'm over here breaking down what they have to say because it's so ridiculous half the time.
Hey, they will not start again. Those are the three. Jalen Hurts could play a lot this year, struggle, he's starting again. Baker could play a lot this year, struggle, he's starting again.
Yeah.
Stroud could play a lot this year, struggle, he's starting again. Bryce could play a lot this year, struggle. The Panthers are still going to have him on the roster next year. But Deshaun cannot afford to play a lot, struggle, he'll never start again. Shador cannot afford to play a lot. If Shador plays 2 games, great. But if Shador plays like 14 games and struggles, he'll never start again. And if Kyler Murray plays 17 games and goes 3-14 or something wild, he'll never start again. So to me, your seat being hot is predicated upon, is your career contingent upon this season? And those three individuals, in my mind, their career is contingent. If Shador plays a lot this year and balls, what? Starter, perennial dude, like.
Why can you say that, though?
That's true, Erroneous. You said Kyler has been on the hot seat since the info slipped about his issues with playbooks. I would say playbooks. They also, if you remember, they brought in the issue with him gaming. Because wasn't he like a really big Call of Duty? You know, I don't know if y'all like abbreviate Call of Duty or not, but for those of you who are familiar with gaming, I'm pretty sure that's the game of choice for Kyler Murray was Call of Duty.
Like this dude's in his second year. If he goes and doesn't play,
it's year 2.
It's year 2. There's all type of quarterbacks that still play.
Sam Darnold was dog crap after.
Said Chelsea. If the Eagles win it all this year, you've got to get a Devontae Smith jersey and give us 3 Go Birds during a broadcast. I'm not mad at that, Erroneous C. I'm not mad at that. Here's the thing. Somebody has to pay for my jersey, okay? Somebody better be paying me money to get this jersey. But I'm not mad at that, okay? I even said, y'all, I said, with all this talk about the Dallas Cowboys and how they're hyping it up about what the team looks like this upcoming season and everything Christian Parker's going to do for the defense. It's like, I'm so sick of it. I'm so sick of hearing it that I said, okay, since people are claiming that Dallas could possibly go to a Super Bowl, I said, if Dallas doesn't make it to a Super Bowl, I might become an Eagles fan for a year. I said that. I did say that. I said I might. We'll see. What do y'all think? What do y'all think? Should I become an Eagles fan for a year, say 3 go Birds, and then also have a Devontae Smith jersey? Is that what I should do? Because I might take you up on that, Erroneous C.
Two years.
But Shador, remember, Tim Donald's a first-round pick.
I got
you get grace. You get grace.
Okay, so what about the dude that was with the he was at Oklahoma. He's supposed to be all-world, and he wasn't.
Spencer Rattler? Oh, Sam Bradford.
No.
No. Which one?
Rattler.
Yeah, Spencer Rattler.
He got benched for a second-round pick.
But he played a lot though.
By force.
Man, come
on.
Man.
He played by force.
All right, bro.
Shit, Desmond Ritter played a lot. Like you're too young to not. I think he's too young for it to be like.
Now you said no. Once you switch, you have to switch for life. Now, I wouldn't go that far. I can't do that for life. Once you hear your family, go first. No, I can't do that, y'all. I said for just a year. Okay, just a year. I couldn't switch up on my team like that, y'all. I've been a Dallas fan since I learned the game of football. I can't do that. That's a little too extreme for me. But I would do it for a year. I think I could do it for a year.
He's never going to start again if he struggles.
No, you're never going to. Not that he'll never start a game again. You will never be.
Really be funny. What would really be hilarious is if the year I became an Eagles fan, if the Dallas Cowboys end up winning a Super Bowl that year. What if I become an Eagles fan and then you have the Dallas Cowboys winning a Super Bowl? That would be insane. Wouldn't that be some BS? You would have all the Dallas fans telling me, hey, stay over there with the Eagles. You can't be a Dallas fan again, okay? Just stay over there with the Eagles. We won a Super Bowl without you. What if they do me like that? Now I'm kind of worried. It's like, what if they get superstitious and think that I shouldn't be a Dallas fan anymore? Oh man, that would hurt. I ain't gonna lie, that would kind of hurt. I would still be a Dallas fan regardless.
Starter again. To me, there's a difference.
I don't know if that's true.
Like Spencer Rattler's not going to be a starter again. He might start again, of course. Desmond Ritter's not going to be a starter. Yeah, like go into a season.
I
you
never
this
know.
My team.
I think. Well, hold on now, because I'm cool with my man, but I got to do my job. Bryce Young, if he struggles, you think he's going to be a starter
for the only for the Panthers?
I don't know about that. I think they'll draft quarterback by then. I don't know.
They will. I agree. They'll draft a quarterback, but he'll go into next season as a starter.
Another one. Like, yo, we were so high on him, and it's flipped.
Y'all, I don't know if I really agree with the CJ Stroud criticism. Like, I get it. That last game was bad, but I look at the running back situation that they had. They didn't have a great running back game, but they addressed the running back issues. So we'll see how things play out this upcoming season. But, I mean, I still think CJ Stroud's a talent.
I seen D'Amico Ryans in the airport. We was talking about all type of stuff, man. We talking about this old times in Philadelphia. Talked about you. We talking about everything.
Okay.
For a good 15 minutes. You know.
Denzel Ward to sign a 2-year, $62.2 million extension with the Browns. Shout out to you for that information.
And then we start talking about the defense, how great they was. And when we got to CJ Stroud, he cut the shit off real quick. And I know what that means. Yeah, he don't want to talk about that. You know what I'm saying? So I think CJ's in a unique situation too. Baker Mayfield, I think we see enough and we know what he is.
Yeah, but Baker's gonna start for another 5 years. He's just
whoa.
Not in there, but like Geno Smith. Like Baker's gonna. There's always gonna be a home. There's always gonna be a home.
Kyler, I mean, I don't
Kyler,
even think Kyler starts this year.
I think Kyler is the answer here. Kyler and Deshaun Watson are the two answers here.
It's time for him to go, man.
If Deshaun Watson isn't it through 3 weeks, 4 weeks of the season, we're never going to see him be the starter of an NFL team again. With Kyler,
make or break season for Deshaun Watson, and I'm hoping for the best for Deshaun Watson. I really am. With all the issues that he's had going on throughout his NFL career, I'm hoping for the best. I hope he stays healthy. I can hope he makes something happen. Because one thing that I always talk about that I hate is I hate seeing NFL players flop. I'm not a fan of it. I always hope for the best, and it doesn't matter what team you're on. Now, back in my younger days, I wasn't like that. I wasn't as gracious, but since I've learned about how the business is, how the league is, and I've watched college, and I've seen these guys play from college and then make it to the pros, it's like I have more sympathy towards them. So I want to see them succeed. I want to see them do great things. And I hope that for Deshaun Watson. But we'll see what happens. Like the odds are stacked against him, I will say. What is up, CDTV? It's good to see you in the building. Let's play your Drop My Music producer. I was talking to Jesse earlier, CDT Beats, and I said, thank you so much for showing up to CDT Beats' live, because it really makes me upset when y'all are here, but you don't show up for CDT Beats. And sure enough, Jesse came in the building, and I was a fan of that. And then y'all got to connect over being veterans. That was such a cool moment. That's why I love the YouTube streets. We support each other. Oh, wait. I was speaking about Jesse and I started to play his drop. Let me get it together. Here we go. CDTV. Shout out to you, CDT Beats, my music producer. And we have 3 a.m. coming in. Look at you, 3 a.m. It's Tuesday, right? You'll be live later. So shout out to you. Let's see. Did I pass it? I think I passed it. 3 a.m. I get to chit chat and I end up passing some of these drops. Here we go. Y'all, it is booming outside. Like, it is storming. So if
Sports put out their quarterbacks.
I apologize. So far, we've been doing decent, but that's always a concern for me when I start hearing these thunderstorms. Hopefully, y'all are safe where you guys are at. Let's see, where are we at? I don't even remember.
Don't you burn with the committee? But
what did he do? What? He said chlamydia?
He said chlamydia.
Wait, what are we?
Far too young. Jalen Hurts, he's established too much. It would be a bad year, but he would still get a chance.
Deshaun seat's not hot only because nobody really expects Deshaun to ball.
Well, hot means like, yo.
Joe just trying. This is what I mean by it's just a tactic to bring in viewers and ratings and get people talking. And let me tell you, you're gonna get me talking, Acho, when you're saying things like that he's not on the hot seat because nobody expects him to ball. No, he's still gonna be on the hot seat because they paid him so much money. He's on the hot seat. If he doesn't perform well, he's out. What are you talking about? It's things like that trigger me. And it works, y'all. It works.
It's so hot where if you don't do well, you won't be on this seat no more because you won't be starting nowhere else.
Yeah.
Now, if you're going to say that about them other dudes, you got to say it about Deshaun Watson. Like,
No, I'm with you on that.
Right.
I just think, like,
he need to pack it in.
Nobody really expects Deshaun to.
Also,
I hope he plays well, but I don't expect him to play well.
No. You expect him to keep playing after this year?
How can you? Like, yeah, I hope he plays.
Like I said, the odds are stacked against him. Like, they lose Myles Garrett. I mean, they brought in some other pieces, but it's like, I think the Browns know what their situation is, and so they have very low expectations. They're at this point, it almost seems like they're just hoping they can get great draft picks. But that organization is messed up, y'all.
Well, but that's just because I like Deshaun because I know him personally. But from a football perspective, how can you go?
There is a key.
I said this earlier. I talk about great quarterbacks going to bad teams. Look at Sanders. Sanders is an example of that. Like, I feel like Sanders' talent is getting wasted being at the Browns. You don't have him under a veteran QB who has the most amazing background experience. Sanders would have been better off going to a team like, you can make arguments with this, but I think better to be at the Dallas Cowboys than to be at the Browns. Like, let him develop under Dak Prescott, but everybody did him dirty.
Omission here, and I'm wondering if because of the situation, it's not the same. Tua Tagovailoa.
I don't know how you not on.
Think about Tua Tagovailoa. Y'all, Tua should be on the hot seat list. I ain't gonna lie. Tua should be on the hot seat list. We'll see what shakes and bakes with him, but with all the health problems he's had, I mean, the consistency issues, like, here's the thing with Tua, like, and this is something that Nick Saban has spoke on. Tua has always struggled with giving up on plays. He always wants to sacrifice himself to make something happen for the team. That's just his mindset. And he really has to get out of that mindset. He really has to stop and think about, okay, but is this the best thing overall to risk my health on this one play and then be out the entire season or miss a few games and then hurt my team in the process? I just, that's one thing Tua's always struggled with. And obviously the health issues that comes with that, it's like, I think he's a talent. I do think he's a talent under the right offensive schemes. But he's definitely one on the hot seat list that I didn't think about. And he's with the Atlanta Falcons, by the way.
I think he has one of the hottest seats in the entire league as well, though.
I don't know
if it doesn't work out this season, it's done.
Chlamydia hot.
Is too.
Wait, what?
Don't you burn him with the chlamydia?
But what did he just?
What he said? Chlamydia?
He said chlamydia hot.
Which one you burn?
What?
This is wild stuff on here. Why are they talking about that? I'm not even repeating that.
Chlamydia of hot. You said chlamydia hot.
Yeah, you know which one burns?
It was worse.
What?
Which one burns?
Shady, we have new
gonorrhea. Which one burns the most?
Can we cut him off, bartender? We got 5,500 or some odd people in the chat.
Do your freaking job, Kieran.
We got $100 super chats. We got new audience.
It's incumbent on you as the bartender.
You don't know what incumbent means.
You're right. It is your responsibility as the bartender.
Okay, I'm just like, Trey, he don't even know what that means. Oh my gosh. Yeah, 3 a.m. This is a little wild. Pause. Like, what are we talking about here? Hold on, y'all. I'm sure I got something funny. Hey, we're getting some subs today. Shout out to y'all. Shout out to you who just subscribed. Starting from the bottom, now we here. Yeah, shout out to you. Putting numbers on the subscriber goal. Y'all, we're moving the chains on the YouTube field. Alright, moving on. Let's see if I have a drop for this. We're 6 minutes and 4 seconds in. Y'all, I'm really bad to forget where I'm at. So let me just put this in the chat so I don't forget where we're at in the video. Because I'm sure I got something funny to say with this. It's like, what are y'all getting into now? Y'all on some funny business. Oh yeah, out of pocket. Out of pocket.
Out of pocket for that shit. Way out of pocket. What do you gain from that?
What do you gain from that? What do you gain from saying something like that? Oh, that's some wild stuff to be saying.
The fuck is this?
The F is this, y'all? What the F is this?
Sports put out their quarterback.
Let's go back to it.
Responsibility as the bartender to assess your clients and see if they are too inebriated to serve them again. What you're doing is actually illegal.
Wait. You can look this up, dude.
Jay, we got kids watching, bro.
At this time of night? Well, listen.
Asha's like, we got kids watching. Shady, at this time of night? Y'all, it's like summer break for kids, isn't it? So it's like, yeah, you're probably going to have kids staying up late watching the show. I wouldn't have a kid watching this. I'll tell you that right now. I would not have a kid watching Speakeasy or Nightcap. Even Pat McAfee show can get dicey at times. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know about that one.
Summer. Now, I taught him something.
It is summer.
If you get gonorrhea, you're going to be hot. Don't do that.
But it's not like your body's going to like...
Malin, cover your ears.
Oh, bro, you get hot. You feel you take your feet start tingling.
Talking like he's speaking from experience. Why is he talking like this? He sounds like he's speaking from a place of experience with this.
Oh, you get hot. You don't even want to piss. You just stop drinking water. Water break. You just keep practicing.
No more drinks.
Cut him off.
For him. No more
Cut
drinks.
him off. Shady, you still got some? Hold on, Root. We might as well just.
Oh, I'm done, big dog.
Oh, damn.
Oh, wait. Can he go? Can he go first, please? Come on, here to go.
What I gotta go? Take those shot, and we got to finish the conversation.
All right, yeah, finish.
You were mentioning a name, and I don't.
Not on the mic. That's right. 3 a.m. That's exactly how they're talking right now.
You got.
He's
Tua.
No, yeah, Tua. Yeah, I wanted to talk about Tua.
Tua to me though.
Care Bear couldn't even remember what they were originally speaking on. I mean, I can't complain. Like, I would do the same thing. I'd be like, you get me so off topic, and I won't remember what the original conversation was even about. Yeah, you dang right. He probably forgot.
Look at this lightweight ass over there choking.
Tua to me though ain't a. Tua's not a star. He's not a starter though. Like Tua's not. He's not. Is Tua starting over Penix?
He's little.
I think that's why they brought him there.
Yeah, he's the
I think he's gonna start over Penix.
Tua don't care about starting no more. You look at his interview. He be happy. He's smiling. He happy. He got his money. He don't care about that shit.
He did do an interview last year and say he's just got a bigger
Josh
arm
Allen. I
than
could
me.
never ignore him like that.
That was crazy.
Yeah. It's Trey. Me and shout out to Divine Photos. But Divine Photos, you know, he'll send things, drop things in my Discord, and we got in a discussion about Speakeasy and some of the things they say. And he was like, I think the one with the most sense is Trey. And I was like, that's right. He really is. And I talked about this before, but I remember they were saying some out-of-pocket things, and I got in the chat, and I was speaking on it, and they were giving Trey a hard time. And I was defending Trey and what he was saying. And Speakeasy actually responded to me on that. And I was like, see, I know I ain't tripping.
I think Tua, Tua might
cool,
just not even be in that situation. But I think
do we have to put, not because of talent but because of injury, do we have to put Jaden Daniels or Joe Burrow on
No.
Why the hell is
No.
Joe Burrow? See, Acho, it's things like this that just is so out of pocket.
Jaden Daniels and Joe Burrow are both so talented they could both miss this season.
Definitely not Jaden Daniels. And speaking of Jaden Daniels, I actually have a video from Mina Kimes because I want to get into some things that Mina Kimes has said on ESPN. And she's talked about the Chargers and the Commanders' offense. I don't know what's said in that video, but I thought that would be an interesting one to react to.
People will be like, okay, cool,
and
it sucks. And then they're still going to keep them.
Yes, I agree with
They're still going to start next season.
If Joe got hurt again, the Bengals would have to draft somebody in the first 2 rounds. You can't just keep.
I disagree.
You can't keep passing seasons when Joe.
I disagree.
You missed the playoffs 2 straight years. If he gets hurt again, you're going to get 4 straight years.
Where do you find another Joe Burrow, though? That's the thing.
Joe Burrow would want to get out. I think Joe Burrow would try to find a way to get out.
His abilities above replacement. And with Jaden Daniels, because you've only seen 1 year of it, it's like, oh, well, maybe his entire career is just going to be this injury-prone thing. Sure, I can maybe hear you there.
No,
with Joe Burrow,
I'm saying
no.
you have to go draft your Dak Prescott. You draft a quarterback in the 4th round.
You can get a guy in the 4th or 5th.
Yeah, you go get a guy in the, to me, I'm going 3rd or 4th. You need a guy who's capable of playing.
And he's not going to be Joe Burrow, though.
No, hell no.
You're not going to find
Nobody's going to be Joe Burrow.
Yeah, not at all.
But you can't afford to keep simulating seasons without Joe Burrow.
I get what Acho's saying here. I get to a degree what he's talking about. My only thing is I think it would be Joe Burrow wanting to leave, and then it would force the Bengals to draft a QB.
To me, is a problem.
Bro, Shady, are you what's going on with Shady?
He's fighting.
What? Shady in hell, bro.
Kieran, is Jalen Hurts on the hot seat in your mind?
Jalen Hurts, nah. Yeah, I don't think Jalen Hurts is on the hot seat yet. Not yet.
He don't got.
I think this will be the first year, if he does go out there and struggle, where people have to look themselves in the mirror and be like, oh, what is Jalen Hurts really? If he struggles. If he doesn't struggle, then sure. But I think it will lead to a hot seat season next year.
We're struggling though. Like,
if he does what he did last year again,
goes out there
Jalen Hurts is a talent. Like, I'm so tired of hearing about this. Like, if people are not going to appreciate Jalen Hurts, send him to somewhere that will. It's like, why do we continue? It would be crazy for the Eagles to get rid of Jalen Hurts, in my opinion. Even if, and I've talked about this before, even if he was to struggle under this new offense, that would be on the offensive coordinator. That would be on the head coach. Play to a quarterback's strengths, not their weaknesses. Do what works for them, not what you want. It's not about you. It's about you doing what's best for the team, and if that offensive scheme isn't working for your quarterback, switch to what does work. But even if he was to struggle, he's still a talent, y'all. He's still a talent. Even if, let's say, this is the worst season for the Eagles, I think it would be crazy to get rid of Jalen Hurts. That's not a quarterback I would want to bet against, because he's proven time and time again he has the work ethic to improve and get better at whatever he does, even if he faces obstacles. So that's just my opinion with Jalen Hurts.
2,900 yards or 3,100. What's he average? Like 3,200?
3,200.
He has 3,200 yards passing. He has another
500 rushing.
600 yards rushing. A couple push touchdowns. And a couple throwing for what, 20?
Yeah, 20 to 25. That's what he usually
25
does.
was he know, like,
He ain't touching 30.
That's what he does. If he does,
no other quarterback has done with Jalen what Jalen has done in a short amount of time. He's been a starter 3 times, NFC Super Bowl MVP, champion, 3-time Pro Bowler, 6 playoff appearances. Exactly, Tiffany. And this is my thing of what I'm talking about when it comes to Jalen Hurts. The consistency. He's consistently proven, even when he was in college and obviously in high school too. I can't speak on what he did in high school. Like, I didn't watch his film. You know, if I can get my hands on Jalen Hurts' plays in high school, that would be fun to break down. But obviously, he had to be consistent to get college offers to places like Alabama. But he's consistently proven that he's a talent, that he can overcome obstacles and do what it takes to succeed. He's all about progressing and getting better. Somebody with that mindset, you can't bet against them. I would not bet against them. So I would really be disappointed. Here's my thing. If Jalen Hurts was to have a bad season, I would be extremely disappointed if the Eagles were to get rid of him. That would be, it goes 2 ways. Like, I would be understanding, right? Because you can't have somebody have a bad performance and then want to pay him. But it goes back to the consistency. It's like, he's consistently shown that he can overcome obstacles. So even if he does struggle, I still think you should keep him. And I would be looking more at the offensive coordinator. If Jalen Hurts struggles this upcoming season, I'm looking more at the offensive coordinator. Are you playing to a quarterback's strengths? Because if you're not, you're only hurting your team and you're hurting the quarterback. There's just a lot that goes into that. I will never doubt Jalen. Tiffany, that's right. I'm with you on that.
Them numbers like that, you know where the Eagles would be at? In an NFC Championship game.
See,
so my thing is, he's not a. That's what we do. That's what he does.
No, I know, but I just don't know if the gap between you guys and the other teams, talent-wise, around the roster is not what it was.
It's still there, bro. That's one team.
No, the talent is still there.
How many teams you name that's more talented than the Eagles? Only a couple, dude. Only a couple.
Yeah.
And
I'm telling you, the Eagles have consistently, shout out to Howie, but they've consistently produced talent.
Coaching. And then add in the freaking GM and the head coach. Like, Jalen, y'all want Jalen Hurts to be this guy. He's not Joe Burrow. He's not gonna sit here and throw the ball. He's not. That's not him.
I actually agree with Shady on this. That's not. It goes back to play to a quarterback's strengths. Jalen Hurts is going to play to his strengths, not his weaknesses. He's not going to be a Joe Burrow. If you're wanting somebody like that, you know, test the waters with that. But that doesn't mean it's going to guarantee you success. Stick to what works. And the way Jalen Hurts does it has worked.
He's not getting 5,000 yards. That's what he's not doing that. But what he is going to do is manage the game the right way, and that's it. Not turn the ball over.
That's my thing. He's consistent. I always talk about I admire consistency over these yards, over these stats. Like, are you consistent? Are you making smart plays? And that is something Jalen Hurts has done. He's consistent. People are like, oh, he didn't risk taking a pass on that. He should have did this, you know, pass here. It's like, why would he do that when he's doing what works? What is a guarantee for first downs, for touchdowns? It's like, why would he be reckless? This is why I've talked about one of my favorite Alabama quarterbacks is Mac Jones. People like to talk about Bryce Young, Tua Tagovailoa. But when you look at Mac Jones was the most consistent, accurate quarterback at Alabama. And that's over Bryce Young, Tua Tagovailoa, and Jalen Hurts. Mac Jones was the most consistent. So that's why I say Mac Jones was my favorite Alabama quarterback. When it comes to the NFL, I really admire Jalen Hurts.
Plays when it needs to be made, throw the ball when it needs to be thrown, and run the ball.
Yeah.
And let our defense win games. That's what we do.
That's fair.
And he's a winning quarterback. And it's like, the way we win games, I'll tell people all the time, the name of the game is to win.
Facts.
And the way we win games ain't throwing the ball 40 times a game. That's not how we win. So if he wins this year the way he wins, can we please get off the Jalen Hurts? You know what?
I agree with Shady on this. I actually agree with Shady. Overall, I thought this was great. Y'all, I thought I would be furious. Like, there was some parts that I didn't agree with, of course. But overall, this was probably the most I've ever agreed with Speakeasy. So shout out to this video from them. And this is on the QB hot seat list. Moving on, I want to talk about some Dallas Cowboys now. And this is with Speakeasy again. I also have one from Mina Kimes, and let's get into it.
Look, winning the Super Bowl is what's left for Dak Prescott. He said it's that or nothing. Also showed up to training camp today wearing a Dallas Cowboys.
Take these interviews with a grain of salt. Y'all, what do you expect him to say? You expect him to say, hey, I don't know if we'll make it to the Super Bowl. Like, of course he's going to say, hey, I think this is going to be a Super Bowl, like, team, like, you know. I just take these interviews with a grain of salt. But here we go.
Cowboys Super Bowl champions shirt, January 28th, 1996, when we defeated the Steelers 27-17. Our last Super Bowl trip, unfortunately, and also the last time we went to an NFC championship.
The last Super Bowl was when we beat the Steelers. Shout out to your Steelers, G Honda, since we want to talk about the Cowgirls.
Game.
Yeah,
it has been a while. I wasn't even born then. I was in my daddy's balls. Do you guys think Dak is under the most pressure of any player in the NFL this year for the Cowboys?
All right, look, Prize Picks is America's.
Here. I think I got it down to where this ad ends. Make sure I didn't skip a part. All right, here we go.
I'm going to say yes because Dak keeps talking about Super Bowls, and now you're wearing a Super Bowl shirt to training camp.
What do you expect him to do? You think a quarterback's going to go out there talking about their team? Like, yeah, I don't know if we're going to make it to the Super Bowl. I don't know about our chances with that. No, a quarterback, any quarterback in any franchise is going to say, yes, talk positively about the team, talk positive about Super Bowl chances. Of course, a quarterback's going to do that. So I don't hate on Dak for speaking that. Do I agree with it? No, but I don't hate on it. It's just part of the business.
Like, Dak is now accepting the pressure. There's come a point where everybody's projected the pressure on Dak Prescott. Now Dak's saying, look, you know what I'm saying? I've been under the squat rack. I can carry this weight. So we'll see if he can, but at the end of the day, Dak is the face of the franchise. If Dak plays 12, 15 years for the Cowboys and never even goes to an NFC Championship game, what the hell you do all that for?
I don't put that on Dak Prescott. That goes back to the organization as a whole. You can't just put it on one position. It's not solely on Dak Prescott. I take that with a grain of salt. It's the same with Tony Romo. Tony Romo was a part of great teams, what you would consider great teams, but there was always something lacking with the Dallas Cowboys that never could get them to a playoff or past the playoff. Like, there was always something. Tony Romo retired a Dallas Cowboy, never winning anything. Like, never won. Well, I mean, he won, but never won a Super Bowl or anything like that. I take this with a grain of salt.
You're going to become Tony Romo 2.0. Like, how you play that long.
Oh, wait. Hold on. Do I know you? I think I know you. Please don't tell me hold on, y'all. Get out my chat if this is who I think it is. I told you not to show up here. I knew it was you. I knew it was you. Why are you here? Okay, I'm not mad. I guess you can stay, but now I'm embarrassed.
And don't win anything of significance. You don't win anything meaningful. Dak Prescott will probably retire a top 5 highest paid player in the history of sports. And you have nothing to show for it if you don't win a Super Bowl. So, to me, I don't know if there's another Cowboy under more pressure than Dak Prescott, Shady.
Man, there ain't no pressure with Dak Prescott. There's not. The good years, the bad years.
I agree with Shady on this. Once again, surprise, I agree with Shady on this. There's no pressure. It's been consistent with how the Dallas Cowboys is. Not Chelsea. Tell us who that is. I shouldn't have said anything. Let's see. Do I got a drop for this moment? I don't know. Let's go see what I got. We're at 2:08. We're 2:08 into this video. Y'all know I'll forget where I'm at. Let's see if I got a drop for this moment. Oh, man. Man, I effed up. I think I effed up, y'all.
Players fuck up. Players fuck up all the time. I was pissed.
Oh, man. Let's see. What else do I got? Hold up. Wait a minute. Something ain't right.
Hold up. Wait a minute. Something ain't right.
That's how CDT came into this. He came back in like, nah, Chelsea. Tell us who that is. Oh, man. I need one like, hey, mind y'all's business. Mind y'all's business now. Hold on. Let's see. What else do I got in here? What's this one? Oh, wait. This conversation bothers me.
This whole conversation bothers me. Big time. It really does.
Yeah. This conversation is getting a little uncomfortable, okay? Hold on. Is that all? Okay, we're going to get back to the video.
Look, winning the Super Bowl is
We're
what?
at 2:08. Is that right? Yeah. I'm not answering any questions.
There's not. The good years, the bad years, the years they come up short, years he plays that football in the playoffs and they don't win. We talk about it for a couple of weeks and that's it. We move right on. There's no real pressure. And another thing is like, why are we even wearing?
Jonathan, you're a Dallas fan too, right? I'm pretty sure you're a Dallas fan.
To the viewers, why are we wearing the Dallas Cowboys championship shirt? Why are we doing that?
Because we play to win the game, Shady.
It's like you want some attention. Come on, bro. Y'all ain't been in a year. 1996. Bro, y'all ain't even been in the playoffs the last 2 years?
Yeah.
Well, why are we doing all that?
This is what I said. Why are we doing all all this? Like, what's the point of talking about it? I'm so tired of hearing about, hey, the Super Bowl chances. Like, these are their Super Bowl chances. They have a great team. They got this, they got that. Shut up with all that. Miss me with all that. It's like, I'll believe it when I see it. Okay? Until then, I can do without all the chatter.
Win some games. Let's just try to win. Right? Before we talk about Super Bowls and all that, let's just be realistic. And I think that sometimes with Dak Prescott, I think he wants to be that quarterback that brings in that championship. You don't have to talk about it. Just go out there and play. I've always been tough on Dak just because he's been surrounded by a lot of talent. A lot of good defense and all that.
Okay,
and good personnel.
Surrounded by what good defense? We just got rid of our entire defense. What are you talking about, Shady? We've consistently had defensive issues. They've never been able to stop the run. Now, Shady, I ain't gonna just, I'm disagreeing with you here because I don't think there's been consistency with the defense. Like, consistent talent. Even when we had Micah Parsons, we still had issues. I can't get behind that. There's always been something lacking when it comes to the Dallas Cowboys, and that's why I am a little bit more mindful of my criticism towards Dak Prescott.
And he's in the playoffs, he plays different than the regular season. So I don't know if he's up against a lot of pressure just because what has changed. Like, they're going to find a way to make it the defense fault, find a way to make it the offense fault. Oh, that's Jerry Jones' fault. Them 3-4 years ago when that team.
Morning. Wait, might have to clap this one out. Let's see. Is it striking? Morning striking? Shout out to you. You said I'm a Raiders fan in the Cowboys Nation. That's interesting. I don't know what you mean by that, but so you're a Raiders fan. Does that mean you support the Cowboys? Oh, I see what you're saying. I get it. You're a Raiders fan in a Cowboys Nation. I get what you're saying now.
Was loaded with talent. They found a way to blame Jerry Jones. I'm thinking, like, how? And the truth is, he didn't play well in the playoffs.
No,
the year with.
I'm disagreeing with him here. Okay, now this is why I always gotta be careful with. I can already feel it coming, y'all. I can already see it in the air that I'm going to have to tell myself to calm down, because what the heck are you talking about? It's not Jerry Jones's fault. He's the flipping owner in the GM. He has input on player personnel decisions, way more input than he should have. He has input on who he hires as the coaching positions. What are you talking about? That the blame shouldn't be on Jerry Jones. Oh my gosh.
The Packers, I mean, he was throwing picks and pick six, right? They didn't blame him. They blamed the defense.
I had to change my name because you said my name out loud. Hold on. Is this still you? Let me look. Oh my gosh, it's still you. Wait, am I not allowed to say your name out loud? Why am I not? Okay, my bad. My bad. I didn't. So you got 2 accounts? I can't get rid of you.
Defense couldn't stop nobody. Okay, cool. Then they blame Jerry Jones. The year before that, when they really were good.
Hey,
that had a stinker. I think.
As usual, great content. Shout out to you for that. I appreciate that compliment.
I think we blame Dak a little bit.
Who? Maybe I did. I don't see.
I think we blame Dak, bro. I think more Cowboys fans are realistic than you think.
Cowboys fans, when I talk to them, bro, they try to blame Jerry Jones, and then I look at him with that face like, and then it's all right, Shady. You know what I'm saying? But yo, if you ask a Cowboy fan, they'll tell you it's Jerry's fault. They always do that. It's not the truth. So I don't think there's no pressure.
When he is the owner and the GM, the responsibility lies on him. Oh, Shady, you cannot say that the Browns' issues come from the organization and not do the same with the Dallas Cowboys. What the heck are you talking about? Of course, part of that lies on Jerry Jones. And honestly, it's a big chunk of it. What the heck?
Jerry has fallen short in.
Like where? Let's talk about it.
I think letting go of an entire season whenever you have that type of offense, because
he's in charge of who he hires. You hired a head coach, Mike McCarthy, wasted money on him. I didn't want him hired in the first place. So we can talk about Jerry Jones hiring Mike McCarthy. We can talk about the wasted years with Tony Romo because all the pieces that you got, weren't a right fit. Like, there's so many elements to why you can blame Jerry Jones. See, now I'm heated. I gotta calm down, y'all. I gotta calm down because I can feel my blood pressure rising already. Why does Speakeasy always do this to me? Like, they have such an impact on me, raising my blood pressure for no reason.
Hey, calm down. I don't like your tone. Let's take the decibels down a little bit. Hey.
I gotta calm down. I gotta calm down. I gotta bring the decimals down a little bit.
Winning the Super Bowl is what?
Marcus, you agree. Shout out to you. Let's see. Where are we at? I think we were like 4-10 here.
You always do that. It's not the truth.
I think there's a lot of things that Jerry has fallen short in.
Like where? Let's talk about it.
I think letting go of an entire season whenever you have that type of offense because you didn't want to pay Micah Parsons was
So what
tough.
about the?
I think the way he's drafted.
Gosh, it's not even just letting go of an entire offense. What are we talking about? The offense is even a problem. I can name places where Jerry Jones messed up. For instance, paying Ezekiel Elliott all that money. That was a horrible choice. I didn't want to pay Ezekiel Elliott. I wanted to keep Amari Cooper, get rid of Ezekiel Elliott, play Tony Pollard because Pollard was getting more yards than Ezekiel Elliott anyways the previous year. So why were we going to pay Ezekiel Elliott all that money after having a bad performance and having career high fumbles? I seen him falling off. I didn't want to pay Ezekiel Elliott. But what did Jerry Jones do? Jerry Jones ended up keeping Ezekiel Elliott and paying him all that money, and it hurt us. It hurt us in the long run. I wasn't a fan of that. And not once, but twice, they could have had Derrick Henry. So Derrick Henry was still on the draft board when they took Ezekiel Elliott over Derrick Henry. I had an issue with that. You had Derrick Henry with a Heisman Trophy, like career high yards from both high school and college. He was just built different. Now look, Derrick Henry lasted longer in the league than Ezekiel Elliott. But then also, we could have gotten Derrick Henry again. We had the chance to get Derrick Henry, and Jerry Jones wouldn't pay him. So I have a huge problem with Jerry Jones.
On the defensive side of the ball over the last 10 to 15 years has been really bad.
The defense.
It has been bad.
Defensively, that's not true.
Defensively,
outside
it's been
of Mike
bad.
and DeMarcus Ware, they've swung and missed.
Okay,
a lot.
Let's talk about it. So, do we count Diggs? Does Trayvon Diggs get any credit? Because the one time we look, he's one of the best corners in the league.
Taking the ball away, he was never one of the best corners in the league.
I'm done. So you telling me a dude that had the most picks in a season was all pro? That shit don't count?
It does.
Trayvon Diggs, unfortunate circumstances. Once again, it's unfortunate circumstances. He was one of the best. People like to talk about his style of playing. You got to think, you have different styles of cornerbacks. You have those who are more ball hogs, which is what Trayvon Diggs was. He liked to get the interceptions versus, making the tackles. He wanted to get the ball. So he was more of a ball hog type of CB. Then you have those who are breaking up passes and getting the tackles. That's more of your Patrick Surtain. Patrick Surtain will still get you interceptions, but he's more focused on breaking up the passes and, he will make those tackles. So you just get different styles of CBs. But I think that the circumstance with Trayvon Diggs, he was a talent. But where it started to be an issue was they had a horrible defensive coordinator. Everyone had a problem with that defensive coordinator and the defensive scheme they were running. You had Trayvon Diggs getting injured not once, but twice with ACL injuries. So there was a ton of factors of why Trayvon Diggs ended up falling off.
He's incredible taking the ball away, but he wasn't one of the best corners in the league. You could ask any corner, Shady. Nobody would say Diggs was one of the best corners in the league.
When that year you had it, 1 year you had?
That what was it, back in 2023? Was it back in 2023 or 2022? I can't remember which season it was. I want to say it was 2023 when he had career high interceptions. You would consider him one of the best.
It was a great year.
Hold up. His first 2 years, when he jumped off the porch.
Say, the first time he came in, he was hot on the field, y'all. Like, there was this one play that lives rent-free in my mind, and it was against Seattle Seahawks. But DK Metcalf was close to scoring. Like, I'm talking a few inches away from getting a touchdown. Trayvon Diggs chased him down, did not give up on the play, and tackled him. And that touchdown was erased, y'all. That, I mean, he was a talent. He was top tier at the time.
He was like, wow, this kid's gonna be really, really good.
Incredible taking the ball away. But he was never one. You know he was never one of the best corners in the league.
The most impressive thing you could do in football is take the ball away.
Yeah, but you can also get beat. He was getting torched.
He wasn't getting torched. That's not true.
Yeah,
he's not getting torched. That all-pro year, he was not getting torched. That is not.
He wasn't getting torched. People overlook it. And he did have some great plays. But again, this goes back to the defensive scheme being a problem. It wasn't Trayvon Diggs wanting to do the BS. And even Micah Parsons spoke on this. He said, why is it always the players that are the issue? Why is it never the coaching? You think I want to be doing the BS? They're telling me I have to do the BS. That was the words of Micah Parsons on his podcast when he was still with the Dallas Cowboys. That just lets you know what an issue it was with the defensive coordinator. They didn't want to be doing the BS. They didn't want to be running the scheme they were running, but they were told to do it. So I don't put that solely on Trayvon Diggs.
Not true. That is not true.
They were double moving him to death. He gave up like 986 yards, but he also got picks.
I'm not going to sit here and say this. So what do you want? You want a guy who can cover well or get you the ball? Because I know we want an offense. All right, that's one part.
Styles. Again, it just depends on what the team wants. Do you want more of a ball hog type of CB who's going to get you interceptions, or do you want a CB who's going to make the tackles and break up passes? You have different styles of CBs.
Turnovers. And then the slot corner, the nickel corner.
Deron Bland.
Deron Bland. Does he count or he don't count?
He's a really good player.
He's a really good player. He set the record for pick sixes.
We're talking about exceptions though.
Bro.
Okay, hold on. Let's talk about it. If you want to talk about that, let's talk about why him as the GM let Al Harris walk and go to Chicago. And now look at the Chicago Bears defensive backfield. They look way better.
You asked me a question and I'm answering them. Let me answer them first before
okay, go ahead.
Run me down on it. Pause. So that year when Trayvon Diggs was going off, nobody was talking nothing negative about him, right?
People were absolutely talking negative about him, bro.
They definitely were, though.
They were.
I'm going to keep this video playing, and I'm going to get my thoughts. Maybe I should... No, I'm just going to keep it playing.
You lead the league in picks and all that, and we talking bad about you.
They said he was a pick merchant, and he was going to jump in front of people.
What is that?
Meaning like you're going to jeopardize the defense for the sake of getting picks.
Yeah.
Like a dude who
he's going to bust in coverage. People were talking about him giving up more yards than any other DB in the entire league during that year.
So Trayvon Diggs was doing his thing. You had the nickel dude. What's his name again?
Yeah.
Deron Bland was doing his thing.
Yeah.
Then they go out there and they go get the defense player of the year previously, Gilmore. Stephon Gilmore.
Nope.
I guess that don't matter.
No, we had enough to win.
Oh, no. I just want to give Jerry his flowers real quick. You got pass rushers with Lawrence, and then you had Micah Parsons.
Pieces. Okay, this is where I disagree with Shady. It wasn't all the pieces we needed, though. You're just speaking on certain players. We still didn't have a defensive coordinator that could drop schemes to get us where we needed to go, because we still struggled with stopping the run. We never had all the pieces. We didn't have a good run game. We didn't have Like, even our tight ends this past season, like, they didn't live up to the expectation. You had CeeDee Lamb dropping passes. He got outperformed by Pickens. There's just so many elements to it. It's like, no. You can't say it's all on Dak Prescott.
You already know what that's about.
Yeah.
What? No, Jerry,
I'm aware. Yeah, Jerry, I'm not blaming him
every
for that.
year ain't gonna be perfect, and every team ain't gonna be perfect.
Yeah.
But they was damn near that.
No, I agree.
On offense, they had
perfect. They weren't perfect. How could you be perfect and not be able to stop the run? We just got rid of our entire defense because of this reason. It wasn't good. It wasn't a good defense. Like, we have a whole new defense. You got a new defensive coordinator. I mean, you even have offensive tackle, like, question. It's like, there's just so many things.
Who's over there, too?
Jerry has given the Cowboys contender after contender after contender. And one, I don't have any problem with Dak being confident and saying, "Oh, I do want to go out there and win a Super Bowl." That should be the expectation. If you fall anywhere short of an NFC Championship, it's just going to be par for the course of what we already think of you anyway.
Correct.
I need to see something different, and I need to see some sort of confidence. So I do think the first year against the Niners, it was Dak. Second year against the Niners, it was Dak. Against the Packers, it was Dak. Again, it was always Dak that was holding us back in those.
I don't think it was Dak holding us back. I just think it was we always had key pieces missing.
Games. My problem is, and this is what I'm saying, just because it was, in my opinion, in those games, Dak's fault, doesn't mean that Jerry Jones is without blame for other things as well. Using first round
subscribed. Start from the bottom now here.
Draft capital to take Taco Charlton and Mozzie Smith were horrible selections. And when you look at what he's drafted on the defensive side of the ball, outside of Micah Parsons and hopefully outside of Caleb Downs over the past couple of years, it's been bust after bust after bust. Mo Claiborne, Leighton Vander Esch, good player, ended up getting hurt. It's just been miss after miss after miss. Yeah, Jalen Smith, there's been so many misses on that defensive side of the ball, and I understand that's just
always had consistent issues.
Football. I get it. But when you look at who's our counterpart in our look at how Howie Roseman is handling his team, and it's different.
Getting into how the Eagles handle different. Like, you have to have some responsibility on Jerry Jones. And I know Shady's just saying this to trigger me. I get it. Okay, it's part of the business. It's to get people talking, get people reacting, and here I am reacting to it. But this is why I like to address some of the things that get said, because I don't want people going around believing this BS. Because Jerry Jones, you best believe you got to give some accountability to Jerry Jones.
Right.
Unfortunately for Jerry Jones, if we're not in the NFC South, we're not. If we're in the NFC South, we're running that division, but we're not.
We win though. So like when Howie says, you know what, Eagles, I'm gonna give y'all these players. I'm gonna give you this roster. You know what we do?
Y'all gonna win.
We go to the Super Bowl, we win.
Yeah, because you have the coaching staff to provide it. We haven't always had a great coaching staff. The defensive coordinator was trash.
We go to the conference game. We go to them.
Yep.
Y'all don't do that.
It's because you have a quarterback that's not going to make mistakes.
So now,
I don't like how they're putting this solely on Dak Prescott. Now, is Jalen Hurts more consistent? Yes, but Dak Prescott is still a talent. He's just never had all the pieces there. So I can't put all the blame on Dak Prescott. I don't like that criticism.
How it looks better because how far are we going? If them dudes is winning the Cowboys, Jerry looks better. Okay, let's go to offense because it's two sides of the ball. Sorry about that. Right? What about them freaking offensive linemen over there that Jerry done got? Do they
amazing?
count?
Yeah, no, they do. Offensively, I have no problem with it.
The quarterback. You know what I mean? CeeDee Lamb. Like,
people were clowning them last year for getting a running back that we got.
So all I'm saying is that when we want to pick on Jerry Jones, look at the stuff Jerry's really done.
Yeah,
I hate that. No team's gonna be, and you know this. No team's gonna be perfect. There's gonna be some flaws on the team.
Mm-hmm. Jerry's the top 10 GM in all of football. Absolutely,
for sure.
Absolutely, it's not arguable.
He better top 10.
The only reason, go ahead. You go.
I was just saying, my issue is he does deserve some blame for some things, and I can separate that from he did give us a championship roster in 2022 when we lost to the 49ers because Dak
all on Dak Prescott. Y'all, we couldn't stop the run. Like, we had kicking issues. There was points off the board just from the kicker. When you don't have a good run game going, because in that game, we lost Tony Pollard. What are you talking about? If we're talking about one of the games, we lost Tony Pollard in that game. if we're talking about the one where the clock management, it was horrible coaching. If he's talking about the one where we had, this might be the one he's talking about, where we had Amari Cooper, still had Ezekiel Elliott, and CeeDee Lamb. If he's talking about that one, that was bad coaching, bad clock management. You also had issues with the run game. I can't put it all on Dak Prescott.
Couldn't do anything, and our defense played a hell of a game. That's
Our defense, okay, so our defense did good, but you still had issues stopping the run.
Because Dak played a great game, and it's because of Dak. And I think that's if any Cowboys fan is going to stand on the soapbox and be like, hey, Dak needs to play better in the playoffs, I'll be the one. And I've always said that. He needs to be better in the playoffs.
Always?
Always. I've always been on that.
First time you say this shit.
No, I got videos 4 or 5 years back. I've always been on that side.
I work just as many days you work, I think.
You don't.
I don't see it at all.
Not even close.
I got a video where I take off my Dak Prescott jersey, throw it on the ground, and put on a red headband and pronounce myself as a Chiefs fan. That's how nasty it got. It was bad. Look,
I will not do that now. I ain't doing that. I'm not going for the Chiefs, y'all. My stepmom, shout out to my stepmom. She's a Chiefs fan, but I'm going for the Chiefs. I think I might have went for the Chiefs one year because I can't remember who I didn't want to win. Who was it? I don't even remember now. But I went for the Eagles. Both times the Eagles were in the Super Bowl against the Chiefs, I went for the Eagles. But who was it that the Chiefs played against? I'll have to look, but I went for the Chiefs. They ended up winning, but that was the only time I went for the Chiefs.
I want to see the Cowboys win, just like every other Cowboys fan wants to see them win. But with Dak Prescott, I'm okay with this. I'm okay. Go out there and show us that you can do it. If this newfound confidence, and you mentioned in the Super Bowl all offseason, which I've never really seen him do. He talks about wanting to win, but I've never seen him do this.
I would be an Eagles fan before I would be a Chiefs fan. At the end of the day, that's just how I feel about it. It's like I'm not. It depends on the team. It depends on who's playing. But if you had, let's see. I don't know. It would just depend on who's playing. I can't remember who it was, though, for the Chiefs that one year that I went for them. I have to look. I have to look at it. It's going to bother me.
Show me something different, because we want to see something different. The thing is, it's not going to mean anything for 17 weeks of the season. If the Cowboys go 15-2, it's not going to matter if you can't get to the NFC Championship game.
Do you believe, like, you're a Cowboys fan, but you're also a realist with some common sense? Do you actually think, and if so, why, that Dak would be any different in the playoffs? Because there's just no empirical data to support that Dak's going to get to the playoffs.
Eagles. Maybe it was the 49ers, y'all. Maybe it was the 49ers where I went for the Chiefs.
Like, hell yeah, he's different now.
Yeah.
Or is it just hope? Maybe, you know what I mean? Like,
it's a lot of hope, but that's also just being a sports fan in general.
Yeah,
but from the fans' perspective, I think it's a situation now where I've seen Dak go out there and perform well in a play.
I think the whole thing's crazy. Moving on, I want to hear what Mina Kimes has to say about Downs.
How about this? If you haven't seen it yet, go check it out. But a great article over on ESPN.
Because I know that they covered Green Bay in the first part. Let's see. Was it right about here? Let's see.
As great as he is talent-wise and physicality-wise, it's that brain that I think may continue to impress. Let's go to Dallas next. We're in on Caleb Downs' progress, writing, he's won over veterans with his work on and off the field. He won over coaches with how quickly he's picked up things. He has played in the slot, where he'll likely get most of his snaps, as well as each safety spot. He's a worker. He looks for coaching. He craves that. He wants to be corrected. He wants more information, defensive coordinator Christian Parker said. You love that. That sounds like a coach's dream, right? Jeremy, what are you hearing about how Downs and his potential will be used this fall?
Yeah, Laura, since he is such a quick study, he can play.
I'm interested in this. I want to know, for those of you who are unfamiliar with Caleb Downs, He started off at Alabama. Once Nick Saban retired, he chose to transfer to Ohio State. Shout out to Derek. He would get on to me for that. It's the Ohio State, as Derek would say. But that's where Caleb Downs played in college, played for Alabama and played for Ohio State. He was familiar with both positions of playing CB, which is cornerback, for those of you who don't know football abbreviations for positions. And then he played safety. So Dallas is looking at how they're going to utilize him. So I'm interested to see what is said here.
Multiple spots, either in a nickel safety format or being in the slot as a corner, but they want to be careful with that until they want to play to his strengths, which is
Y'all
vision.
always talk about this. I said this earlier with Jalen Hurts. Play to a quarterback strength. This goes for any position. Play to a position's strength. Like, play to their strengths, not their weaknesses.
Instincts. That's where he's at his best. So they want to get him in space and help him go attack the ball downhill. But he's going to play a lot. He's going to play early. Dallas is not quite a finished product defensively.
Right.
They feel like they're good at safety in some other spots. They've been looking for a linebacker for a long time, so it could be one.
Yo, this is what I mean. This is why I don't put all my eggs in one basket when it comes to the Dallas Cowboys. This is why you don't hear me say, hey, Dallas is going to the Super Bowl every year. I ain't the Dallas fan to do it. I ain't doing it. I hear all the talks. I hear what people are saying, and it's like, I don't buy into the hype. I say I believe it when I see it. Show me what you got when the cleats hit the turf. So that's what I'm looking at. And here is a key piece Dallas is missing. He said linebacker. Y'all, I've got questions.
To watch leading up to training camp, Jordan Brooks out of Miami, high-profile player that they've at least kicked the tires on, although I don't think the Dolphins would want to trade him.
Hey, they're looking at Brooks. Playing for Alabama. Who? Roll Tide.
That got me going. Yeah, Caleb Downs. Yeah, just that would be such a good fit for them. Caleb Downs, he's kind of on paper the answer to what every defense is looking for right now in terms of the ability to stop the run
I love
without.
Mina Kimes. Y'all hear me brag about her often, but she is one of the few at ESPN who can go no earpiece, give her thoughts, and it be accurate. Like, she knows in depth her football knowledge of the game. And she went to Yale University, so shout out to Mina Kimes, but she is brilliant when it comes to her analytic knowledge of the game. I am always impressed with her. She's someone that I really look at when it comes to sports broadcasting.
Putting an extra linebacker on the
Oh,
field,
and here's
right?
another thing. Is she's at home. She doesn't even have to be in the studio. So not only can she go no earpiece, but she don't even have to show up to the studio. Like, she can just do virtual, and she's great.
In Seattle, Nicky Manwari. In Philadelphia, his old team, Cooper DeJean, both nickels who are exceptional against the run and allow those teams to live in their sub-packages and keeping those guys on the field where they can also defend tight ends and sometimes.
She gets into the sub packages and all the little breakdowns. I love it. I love her knowledge.
Slot receivers in coverage. Caleb Downs can do all of those things. However, the difference between Dallas and those two defenses is weakness at the linebacker position, which Jeremy alluded to, and then I would say the cornerbacks are a little bit less trustworthy and you can't leave them on islands in the same way. But I am very optimistic about Downs as primarily the nickel, probably playing safety and base.
So she thinks he would be safety. That's interesting. Y'all, we're lacking. I won't hold you. We lacking in that cornerback position.
And to me, the start of something with Christian Parker, him as that foundational piece is really promising.
Yeah, I don't think any of us are over here like
Y'all,
Dallas
I do
is
like
gonna have the
more
best.
Rutledge too, but she is more of a host. Like, she tells you when it's gonna be commercial break. She asks the questions. She doesn't often give her input, but she is knowledgeable too.
In the NFL next season. But Ben, is a moderate improvement on the defensive side of the ball enough to make the Cowboys contenders, considering how good we think their offense will be?
She's asking the questions, which is what I do. Like, y'all heard me on the ESPN affiliated radio before where I ask the questions, and so I get it.
Absolutely. Yeah, we've seen top 5 offense plus average defense be a viable approach to the Super Bowl in the last 10 or so years of football. It wasn't last year, right? Seahawks kind of zagged, everybody else zagged. But you can be an elite offense. And Dallas was 8th in DVOA, 5th in points per drive. They lost nobody in the offseason. George Pickens is coming back. They can put 30, 35 on you. If that defense can just get a couple of stops, they were 30th in turnovers per drive. Get lucky. Do the Bears thing from last season.
The Bears did outstanding. There's a video that I want to cover about the Bears. I might get into that. I say tomorrow, but I don't even know if I'll go live tomorrow, y'all.
Force some fumbles, create enough positive plays that your offense drives the ship and you carry your own weight. So to me, linebacker, schminebacker. All right, we ain't worried about it. Caleb Downs going to be an impactful playmaker.
I don't know what he said, but let me tell you, that is a position you worry about. You want somebody up front who can make stops. Y'all, I need somebody to get the stops at the front, because that's a dangerous game to be playing if you're just trusting a safety or a cornerback to get something done. You need your front forces there on the defense to stop the run game. Like, yo, talking about linebacker, like not worried about a linebacker position. Well, the entire time we've had issues stopping the run, so I kind of want a linebacker. What are we talking about?
Jones coming back from injury, he was really impactful in 2024. There's enough pieces here that I believe in Christian Parker, playing that too high shell, putting an umbrella on opposing offenses, and just keeping the defense afloat such that we can get to a big postseason run.
Yeah, and I think for all the focus on Downs, rightfully so, first-round draft pick, the Cowboys did add a lot of capable veterans elsewhere. Kobe Durant from the Rams is a capable cover corner. Jalen Thompson is a decent safety. And up front, I don't think this pass rush is lighting the world on fire, but Rashawn Gary certainly will help against the run, too, and we'll see what they get out of Malachi Lawrence. If you were to add Jordan Brooks, just to go back to what Jeremy said, to that second level...
Lord, please let us get Jordan Brooks. I realize now I need to start praying for Jordan Brooks. Lord, please let Miami relinquish Jordan Brooks. Please give him up. Okay, there we go.
Yeah.
That's where I start thinking less about can this defense be average or below average, and more can this be a top 10 to 12-ish defense, because I do think with that sort of linebacker improvement, that could be in the cards with all of the other additions that they've made.
Yeah, I mean, how realistic is this
Jordan Brooks? Please give me Jordan Brooks, okay? I know that's a long shot, but man, the way they're talking about Jordan Brooks, and he played for Alabama. Man, if I'm thinking of the right one, he played for Alabama, Roll Tide. But man, y'all,
Brooks thing. Now I'm like salivating at that prospect as well.
Well, in an ideal world, Miami would like to sign him to a contract extension because they have a couple players that they consider core pieces. They signed some of them, like running back Devon Achane. So they feel like they're in transition, but they have a few players they really like. Brooks is one of them. So it would probably take a lot, but Dallas has been sort of scouring the earth all offseason for linebackers. They looked at Patrick Queen in Pittsburgh a little bit. Like, they've looked at the options. It just hasn't been able to come to fruition yet, but it could be something when we get closer to training camp.
We already at training camp. Can we even still get Jordan Brooks? I need to Google that. real quick.
Start to work the phones again. They're on vacation.
Getting us all excited.
Back from Europe, and maybe something.
Let me Google that.
Yeah, the Cowboys, by the way.
Can Dallas Cowboys still get Jordan Brooks? Because we're already at training camp. Can Dallas Cowboys still get Jordan Brooks? Dang it, no. Because I wasn't thinking. I was like, well, we're already at training camp, so. Wait. Did Jordan Brooks sign a 3-year deal? So I guess it would have an impact if they were to get him. It says rumors now suggest that Dallas is looking at Dotson, I don't know, because I'm hearing talks about, oh, so he just signed this, y'all. He signed this July 21st, 2026. Dang it. How old is this video? I need to go back to this video and see how old it was. I want to say this was like from like 7 days ago, though.
Training camp on July 28th in Oxnard, California. That is 4 weeks from tomorrow.
Y'all, I'm invested in this. I'm invested in this now. Yeah, so it's impossible. I figured as much. It was a long shot. I was hoping, y'all. I was praying, but Jesus said no. Jesus said, not today, Chelsea. Not today. You're not going to get Jordan Brooks. But I'm pretty sure he played for Alabama because I really liked him on defense. Let's see. Oh, Jacory. That's the one I was thinking of. Jacory. So I got him messed up, or I got him mixed up. So he played for Louisville. All right. Anyways, moving on. Let's get into Micah Parsons. An update on Micah Parsons' return.
Covered by a man who writes for The Athletic, which is obviously
Hold up, y'all. I
headed
don't know why it's looking like this, but I'll get it. I'll get it. We'll do it live. I'll get the screen looking clean. Here we go. Here's the update on Micah Parsons.
New York Times. What an honor this is. Ladies and gentlemen, Matt Schneidman. Oh! Carly Lambeau's place. Wow. That's incredible. How you doing, Schneids?
I'm good. How are you guys? Always a pleasure to be on.
The honor's ours. Camp on Awana. We hold you in our hearts.
Knew it. I got no clue. I've never heard of that show.
Too young. This is unbelievable.
How old are you?
I mean, I'm 31, so I'm not that young.
Yeah, that's too young.
I've never heard of it. I'm 31 as well.
Y'all, when they were singing this song the other day, I was like, man, I don't know what y'all talking about either.
The Cat Dog, Hey Arnold era.
Oh.
I did watch
I know those.
Cat Dog and Hey Arnold, but I didn't know what they were talking about with this camp show.
See? Yep.
Yeah, you a big anime guy too?
Those were good. I know those too.
Hold on. Do not even start questioning salute
Next
your
you probably didn't watch
quality.
You didn't watch Dude Ranch either? Hey, dude.
Let's move along, please. We got to talk about the Green
Y'all,
Bay
before we get into the Green Bay Packers, I forgot to show y'all this. My dad has a football card that I'm so jealous of. I hope he gives it to me. I hope he passes this down to me. It's O.J. Simpson, y'all. All I get's a picture. I said, okay, well, at least send me a picture of the card. And he did. He sent me a picture. But my dad has a O.J. Simpson card. Has his stats on it as well. Obviously, you know, it's a football card. But I'm so jealous. Like, has his, you know, record on there. All the facts. Man, I'm so jealous of this card, y'all. I want it. I really want this O.J. Simpson card. Eventually, I hope to get my hands on it. I will fight my nephews over this card. Like, that has to go to me. Me and my dad, I talked about this before, but me and my dad, whenever he visited for my birthday, we were having a discussion on football cards, and he brought he knows like how fascinated I am with O.J. Simpson, so he brought this up, and I was like, okay, well, you have to at least send me a picture, because he said he's not willing to give it up just yet, but I'm like, okay, at least send me a picture. But I'm telling you, I want that card. I want that card. I meant to show y'all that. I've been meaning to show y'all that for a while, and I kept forgetting, but there it is. There's the O.J. Simpson card. What's up, what did you say, D-Money? Salute. You're short. What you talking about? I'm short. D-Money, KJ was in here earlier, and KJ was talking about how he didn't know if he was going to return to your lives because he didn't like how you timed him out. I told him, I said, KJ, don't take it personal. I said, he wants the best for you. He wants to see you grow and do great things, but don't take it personal. He wants the best out of you. That's all it is. So I felt bad for KJ. I'm not gonna lie. I felt so bad for KJ. But shout out to you, D-Money. We're 56 seconds into this video, so let's play D-Money's drop. The coleslaw hater himself is in the building. Y'all go subscribe to D-Money's channel if you're not already subscribed to his channel.
Oh, and can you bring my coleslaw on a separate plate? I hate it when it touches my bread.
Shout out to you, D-Money. I'm not going to play all the drops today, but there's one of them.
Covered by a man who writes for The Athletic.
Let's see. We were 56 seconds in, I think I said. What'd you say? But it's really a 6-year contract, not a 4-year contract. Okay, so you're talking about... Which one are you talking about? Because we got into so many contracts today. We talked about Jalen Carter. That was the big one earlier today. So you might be behind in the live.
Talk about the Green Bay Packers.
Sorry.
What's the story over there? Policies. He's moving all in. We got a different vibe on the
Salute Your
squad.
Shorts is the name of the camp. Oh, okay. The camp show that Pat McAfee was talking about. Okay. It was called Salute. Wait, Salute Your Shorts? Is the name of the camp. Okay, so that was the name of the camp. What was the show called?
Because we know that we're trying to win a Super Bowl at all costs, or what is the thoughts over there with Green Bay? Micah, all the way back, how do we feel about what the Packers are going into this 2026 season, Mr. Schneidman?
Yeah, I think there are 3 big storylines, and let me know if the wind is a little too much right here.
Now you're doing great.
Micah's recovery. He's starting camp on the PUP list. He's probably going to miss the first month and a half of the season. The Packers have a strict 9-month no football rule after ACL tears, and Micah's wasn't even a clean ACL tear. He had a meniscus injury too, so he had to get that repaired. So the earliest we'll see him on the field, even on the practice field, is September 30th. That would be 9 months and 1 day after his surgery.
So I like this rule from Green Bay. They have a rule that regardless, you're not going to be able to start for like 9 months. I like this rule from the Packers. I can respect it because it doesn't rush the healing process. So I respect that.
The start of the week of practice before their week 4 game against the Buccaneers. If we think he needs a couple weeks to get ramped up, he's probably going to return week 6 here at Lambeau, Sunday Night Football against who? The Dallas Cowboys.
Yeah. Micah Parsons will most likely return against the Dallas Cowboys. That's going to be a good game, y'all. That'll be interesting.
Hell yeah. We like that. The script makers are going to be pumped whenever they see that that's possible. The strict no field policy by Green Bay for 9 months.
Okay.
I'm just learning that right now.
Salute Your Shorts is the name of the show. I know it was on Nickelodeon. I just never watched it and I didn't know what it was called. I know the show was on Nickelodeon though. But see, I watched Hey Arnold, Rugrats, Cat Dog. Was Doug on Nickelodeon? I think it was. I watched that. You know, I was a big Nickelodeon kid. The shows I watched on Cartoon Network was, you know, the classic Scooby-Doo, Tom and Jerry, and Looney Tunes. What else? Dexter's Laboratory and Johnny Bravo? But I was a big Nickelodeon Cartoon Network kid growing up.
I like that.
Yeah, thank you for introducing us to that. Even if they spend the most amount of money they've ever spent on a player, they're sticking to their policy, which I think is kind of policies.
Yeah, it's
policy, which I can certainly respect. Let's go to the offensive side a little bit. Jordan Love taking another step. What do we expect? Loses Dobbs, obviously. Yep. That's a big deal. Pay another wide receiver. What should we expect from the offense, Schneids?
Yeah, I think they have, 3 clear-cut wide receivers right now. In the past, the story's always been, all right, they have probably 5 or 6 number 2, number 3 wide receivers, but they let Romeo Doubs walk to the Patriots. They trade Dontavian Wicks to the Eagles. Now it's Christian Watson, Jaden Reed, and Matthew Golden. There's really nobody else that they're going to strongly feature. So there are also 2 other big question marks on the offense, and that's Tucker Kraft.
I'm interested to see how this goes for Green Bay because most are putting not all, but some are putting Matt LaFleur as the hot seat for head coaches.
In week 9 last year. He's starting camp on the PUP list, but he told us a couple weeks ago that he expects to play week 1 in Minnesota. So that's good news because at the time he got injured last year, you could have made the case that he was a top 2, top 3 tight end in the NFL. And he's probably going to become, I wouldn't be surprised if he is, the highest paid tight end in the league here in the next couple weeks, maybe even before he steps on the field. And then another big question on the offense is what's going to happen with Josh Jacobs' legal situation. He's still under investigation by the Brown County District Attorney's Office, which I emailed them on Thursday. They said, it's still an open case. We'll have an update when something's resolved. But he was
Here's the
arrested
thing with the Josh
and then
Jacobs case, y'all. The state said to the investigators, hey, you're going to have to give me more proof that a, crime had occurred between his ex. Y'all gonna have to give me more information on this because it's not enough to present to a judge. So this is why the state hasn't pursued any charges. They're still going to leave it open, but so far they haven't received nothing, and I don't know if anything will come of it. But it's still open.
On 5 charges relating to domestic abuse in May, released from jail because the DA's office couldn't find enough evidence.
I mean, there's so much luck. There's so many mistakes that it can't happen. There's so many things that have to take place to win a Lombardi. You guys know anything about that over there, Lombardi? And
a little bit.
Do you?
Just a little bit. It's been a while, but a little bit.
Yeah. Ty has a question for you, Schneid.
Yeah, Schneid, what about the O-line? 2 years ago, that was like, they arguably had one of the best offensive lines in the league. Then last year, it was kind of bad, changing a lot of different guys around. They let a couple guys go. Are we anticipating that they'll kind of have the same nucleus and they're not just going to start a bunch of different combinations this year? And do they feel good about where their offensive line is at going into this year?
Y'all, great questions to be asking about Green Bay.
Yeah, I think they do, but there's 2 big questions, and that's Zach Tom, who's their best offensive lineman, who's received some... Sorry, there's a truck behind me.
I like that we're working.
Yep, hell yeah.
That's what we're doing.
Yeah.
We're working out here.
People are doing real work. Zach Tom, sorry, let me wait for them
Shout
to drive
out to the
by.
CDL gang. CDL gang out there working behind the scenes.
That's New York Times of you right there. I like what you did there. Thank you for the professionalism.
You're welcome. Zach Tom, their best offensive lineman, received a couple all-pro votes the last couple years, but he partially tore his patellar tendon against the Broncos, same game Micah tore his ACL in last year. He's ready to go for training camp. He's not on PUP, but he was kind of banged up all last year after getting a huge extension. And then Jordan Morgan, he was their first-round pick in 2024, played left tackle at Arizona, but he has played everywhere else on the offensive line besides left tackle in meaningful games here in the NFL. He's their starting left tackle this year. He's finally getting the chance to play the position he wants to play. We don't know if he's any good on Jordan Love's blind side. So that's going to be a massive question mark. Is can a recent first-round pick succeed at left tackle? And is Zach Tom healthy after off-season surgery? If those 2 things check out, I think all systems are go for this offense.
Can't wait to watch LaFleur with another year. I like how aggressive they've been under policy. Are the Packers going to win the whole damn thing again?
Maybe.
I think earlier today, was this yesterday or was this earlier today? I can't keep up at this point. But I know at some point they get into the questions of, will Green Bay have the best season? And some were discussing the Bears. Y'all, I can't go. I feel like the Bears have more right now. And if they have momentum going off of last season, I feel more confident with the Bears than I do Green Bay right now.
I was a believer last year for 6, 7, 8 weeks. I forget how long the run was.
Up until Micah got hurt.
You like Jonathan Gannon? Half of these down.
I got fire in my gut right now, so that should tell you all you need to know.
That does.
I don't know. I think the fire you have in your gut is a little different than what he's.
It might be. I mean, he's.
You had how many coffees this morning?
Yeah, I had a couple.
Me and Tone Diggs, we rocking the cowboy hats. We twins, y'all. We twins. That's my brother. Tone Diggs.
It was an early morning. If he
Was it just coffee, or did you have
I snuck a bowl in there
Red
as
Bull
well.
as well?
Yeah, sugar-free.
Four coffees?
Sugar-free.
Red Bull?
No, I mean, well,
Sugar-free Red Bull. Y'all, health matters. Go with the sugar-free Red Bull.
I mean, it's it's an espresso. It's not the same thing.
The study that came out, like you can have like 5 to 6 coffees.
Yes, you can.
That's
But
actually good for you.
I'm saying, but for Ty, the fire that he's feeling in his gut, I think it is different than the one that Gannon was looking for as the head coach of the Arizona Cardinals. I just don't know if they're the same fire. But you are a hungry lad, man.
Yeah, doubling down on Chick-fil-A after all that was
Man, I'm
that
not
was certainly a
hype
choice.
on Chick-fil-A. Like, I'm not like the biggest Chick-fil-A fan. I ain't gonna lie. A Chick-fil-A chicken sandwich sounds really good right now.
But we appreciate you doing that.
you gotta do it.
Hey, go Pack, go. Go Pack, go. Saw the owners meeting. Obviously, Ty wasn't able to make because he had too much fire in the toilet as well. But we appreciate everybody showing up. Schneidman, you're the absolute man.
All right,
Good luck
there we
this
go.
season.
There's the update. Michael Parsons most likely to return against the Dallas Cowboys. And I guess Dallas Cowboys would be headed to Lambeau Field. Now, let's get into what Mina Kimes had to say about the Chargers and the Commanders. It's on the offenses, so I'm interested in this. I am a fan of Jalen Daniels, so let's hear it.
The largest increase in wins last year. These teams really breaking out and having a strong season. Patriots.
Let's see, what largest wins increase? So Patriots, Jaguars, Bears, 49ers, Seahawks, Broncos. Honestly, why did we put the Patriots the largest wins? I'm shocked that it's the Patriots, y'all. The Bears, man, the Bears were impressive to me. Great show as always. See you in the next one. There's a few Eagles content creators live right now. Okay, shout out to you, Tiffany. I know that you want to go support the ones who focus on your Eagles. I ain't mad at it. But tell them I say hello, depending on which ones you're watching. If it's the birds section or I can't remember the other one, but tell them I say hello.
Of course, tied the NFL record with a 10-win increase, and only the Jaguars failed to win at least one playoff game among this group. So this got us thinking about some breakout teams for this upcoming season. Let's turn our attention to that, starting with offenses. So Mina, which offense in the NFL do you think could break out?
Ooh, I love this question. This is a great question. Oh, I'm a fan of this question. I want to answer this. Which offense do I think could break out this year? Ooh, that's tough, man. Let's see. Obviously, the Commanders is in the conversation because the title involved Chargers and the Commanders. Y'all know I'm not big on the Chargers, but the Commanders, I could get behind that one. I could get behind the Commanders. I could get behind, I mean, as critical as I can be of the Dallas Cowboys, I'm interested to see what the progress looks like on offense for them. Can CeeDee Lamb improve? I'm interested in that. So, oh man, that's a good question.
I'll take a layup here. The Chargers. I don't know if there's a single person in the NFL who's having a better offseason than Omarion Hampton, their lead running back. Think about his situation now.
Ooh, that
Hopefully,
reminds me. I need to check on Najee Harris because Najee Harris was at the Chargers, but I don't even know where he's landed, if he ended up going somewhere. So I need to check on Najee Harris.
the offensive line is actually healthy. You get Rashawn Slater and Joe Alt back. I know, knock on wood and all of that. But on top of that, they added Charlie Kolar, blocking tight end, Alec Ingold, heavier bodies, and then perhaps most importantly, one of the best run game designers alive right now in Mike McDaniel. I mean, even last year with the Dolphins and all their struggles on offense, they were still 11th in run DVOA. The way Mike McDaniel uses his personnel groupings and particularly motion to pry open space for his backs is truly special. And now Hampton, who will be spelled by Keaton Mitchell, gets to be the beneficiary of that.
Y'all, as big as I am on Mina Kimes, and I trust her input on this, I just don't know if I can get behind the Chargers. It's like, I don't know. Like, she's knowledgeable though, so she knows her stuff. She looks in depth at everything, so I trust her input on that. It's just like, I don't know. Isn't your former running back Elliott at the Chargers? No. So I heard talks that he went back to the Rams, but I don't think I think he was like on the practice squad. I don't know if anything ever came of that, but there were talks of him returning. But Najee Harris from Alabama, he was with the Steelers and then went to the Chargers. He had that injury, so now I'm curious if he lands anywhere. So I'm going to look into that while we watch this.
If the Chargers' run game is anything less than top 10, it's a huge disappointment.
Yeah, I totally agree. Number one, I think Gadsden has the chance to be a Pro Bowl caliber tight end in this offense under Mike McDaniel. The two big questions I have, number one, Quentin Johnston. Does he take another step forward, not only in the consistency of catching the football, but working over the middle of the field? We all know that's a huge part of this offense, okay? So,
y'all, Najee Harris is still unsigned. I'm not surprised by it because, I mean, he's been in the league since 2021. You know, the shelf life of a running back isn't always, you know, it's improved. It's not what it once was. Like before, you know, the years were shorter for a running back. Now you get more out of them. But it's near the time, like since 2021. So now it's like getting to the end of his career. They can't all be Derrick Henry's, y'all. Derrick Henry's genes are from the Greek gods of football because not many are built like him. But I'm interested. I'm interested to see. I feel like Najee Harris has something to offer a team. So I don't know. Like, I don't know how I feel about if he was forced into retirement, like if he remains unsigned. I'm interested in that.
He was really good last year, winning the one-on-ones down the perimeter, but can you be the big body over the middle of the field? The second thing, Ladd McConkey, just the way that they use him, getting the ball in his hands, but creating those matchups. And then Justin Herbert, will you throw the ball before the person's open? Because he's so talented in the arm.
That's why I can't get behind the Chargers.
Strong that sometimes he has waited for guys to separate naturally. That's not necessarily the calling card for that position in this offense. You have to throw the ball to people or areas that aren't open. If he does that, this is going to be one of the, if not the best offenses in football.
Hey, shout out to you, KJ.
Yeah, I love that point about
you. You said, D-Money, are you going to stream today? Yeah, D-Money, are you going to go live today?
Anticipatory throws, because I think it all ties together. That is what will unlock the yards after the catch that really this group is built to achieve.
You know what I should do? I should clip D-Money yelling at you. I should clip that. I should clip the moment he timed you out. Honestly, I should clip that up. I should clip that up and have that as your drop, KJ, because I'm telling you, that would be funny. Tell me what you would want your drop to be, but I think D-Money, the way he yells at you, that would be funny to have as a drop. But let me know what you think about that.
Quentin Johnson, I remember watching him in college, all of us together in Bristol in the playoffs, and him on those crossers just pulling away.
Holy cow!
He is incredibly fast.
You were right! Pooh Man! I gotta go back up to your comment, because I was like, that's another thing I gotta look into, is if, you know, he signed with the Chargers for Ezekiel Elliott. Let me see, where's that comment? You said, isn't your former running back Ezekiel Elliott, at the Chargers? He is. He signed with the Chargers practice squad, so he's with the practice squad, y'all. That ain't everything it's cracked up to be, okay? Doesn't mean he made the team. But it says that he's signed to the practice squad in January 2025. Oh, wait, this is 2025, but what about currently? So that said in 2025, but is he currently with the Chargers? Is he currently there? Why are you giving me information about flipping 2025? I want to know right now. Okay, so it says no. Ezekiel Elliott isn't currently with the Los Angeles Chargers. So it was just a short time. He was in the practice squad. Yeah, okay, that's what I thought. Elliott remains unsigned. He is available. So if a team is looking for him, he's still available. But I'm telling you, if you have Najee Harris on the table and you pick Ezekiel Elliott over Najee Harris, I'm looking at you funny.
Size. Can that be a part of this offense? Ladd McConkey is also fast, but he's also
Here's
very
another
tough.
thing. Ezekiel Elliott's been out of the game for a couple years now. So I'm telling you, if you pick Ezekiel Elliott over Najee Harris, you know, that's something the Dallas Cowboys would do.
Tough yards after the catch, working over the middle of the field, the way we have seen so many receivers do with Mike McDaniel.
Hey, shout out to that. KJ, tomorrow's your birthday. Hey, wait, is it still July? Yeah, it's still July. I was like, hold on, let me look. But my birthday was the 13th of July.
To be a special offense with him, and I like how all the pieces come together.
Yeah, Mina, 85% of Ladd McConkey's career targets have had more than a yard of separation, so not a tight window. Pretty cool to see what he could potentially do.
You know what? I didn't think about this, but when you look at Mike McDaniels and his offensive schemes, he's brilliant, y'all. He's probably one of my favorite offensive coordinators. I really like Mike McDaniels. So maybe the Chargers will have something cooking.
Well, all right, so that's that. Dan, who is your breakout offense?
I'm going Washington.
Okay.
I'm not mad at this. I'm not mad at Dan Orlowski for this. I really like Jaden Daniels, but I know that there was question marks with the wide receiver position, so I'm interested to see Dan's thoughts on this.
I'm bullish on David Blau, who's their new offensive coordinator. Probably not a name that everybody knows. He was a player up until recently. This is kind of the theme, Sean Mannion-ish. For 4 years in the NFL, so he's with Detroit at times, and then he's with Arizona, and then he's Washington. So, like, what's the offense going to look like? I'm expecting it to look a little bit, you know, Drew Petzing, maybe Ben Johnson-ish, but I think on that under center, heavy run action. So I'm bullish on that. 2, putting Jaden under center and allowing some of the movement and the launch points change, impacting the game offensively or athletically from that position other than just quarterback run. And I'm higher on Antonio Williams, the 3rd round receiver they took out of Clemson. Yep. Terry McLaurin, I think, is going to get healthy, right? I like Antonio Williams. Chikakwanku, who they signed out of Tennessee, he led Tennessee in pass catching
that wide
receptions.
receiver, he was talented from Tennessee. I ain't gonna lie, he was impressive.
Last year in yards, led them. So I just think some of those maybe small Rashad White, smaller additions, I think are going to be tremendously impactful. And I like putting the quarterback underneath and running that play action system for a guy like Jaden Daniels.
I think this is going to be one of the most fascinating offenses in football because everything, Dan, what you're talking about, Blau's resume, it's so varied. And the Cliff Kingsbury offense and the Ben Johnson offense are on like 2 different ends of the universe. So a transition to a more Ben Johnson, more what we saw in Detroit, would be pretty dramatic. I think it would help the quarterback. And I also like how the skill players map onto that offense. I was thinking about, you know, Detroit and some of the players that you mentioned. Chikakwanku is not a great blocker, but guess what? They already have one, John Banks.
Man,
so
y'all,
he can do
love Mina Constant's input, man. She's so in depth with it. I like it. Like, and she's, like I said, she's one of the few that can go, no earpiece, no teleprompter, and give in-depth knowledge on everything, a full breakdown. I like how detailed she is with it. It's so impressive.
Sam Laporta stuff, get you yards after the catch. And then Antonio Williams, I like him too.
Yep.
I think he's tough. I actually think he can block. You can use him on some of the Amon-Ra St. Brown stuff out of the slot, the option routes, working over the middle of the field. I do wish they had one more receiver, quite candidly, like as a Z to pair with.
She gets me. She understands me, because that was my question. You know, before I even start, I'm like, okay, well, I got questions about the wide receiver thing with the Commanders, so I'm glad she brought this up. She gets it. Are we on the same page here?
Lauren, but I do think the pieces are here, and it is a decent offensive line as well.
Yeah, I agree. If you go back to not only the rookie year from Jaden, but really the LSU season, what consistently showed up on tape was those full progression reads and him being able to work quickly through them, the shot play, the crosser, the big in. I think those should be just integral parts pass game wise of this offense under Blau? And if they are, I think this is an offense that's going to be really, really dynamic. I agree. I'd love to see another receiver added. Let's see if something happens like that. But I think even if Antonio Williams takes some time, it's good enough. And I agree, the offensive line better than people think.
Okay, so that was that, y'all. I also have another one. This is from Adam Sheftner, and he's giving an update on, I'm sure y'all have heard the recent trade with, what's his name? Veta. Is it Veta? Is that how you say his name? Anyways, we're gonna watch it. We're gonna watch it.
Welcome back to the Adam Sheftner podcast, and it may be hard to believe.
Hold on, y'all. We gotta fix this one too. Here, we'll get the settings right. I was like, why does it look funny? I always forget, and it's funny because Adam Sheftner is one of my favorite reporters, but I always forget he has a podcast.
Every NFL team is now in training camp. Training camp is underway. It is in full force. The storylines are unfolding, and we do want to remind you that if we go back to look, at least 4 new teams have made the playoffs for 36 straight years.
Okay,
that means
y'all,
there's
we don't have to
hope.
fast forward. Show me where you're talking about the topics I want to get into. Y'all, man, this is a 30-minute video. I don't know if I'm going to cover every little thing. Let's see. They have little headlines, so maybe I can find it.
And, you know, we knew, hey, it's
Hey,
right
shout
around
out
the
to the
corner.
guy
And like you
from
said,
Pat McAfee Show.
that's what today is, at least as a fan, I think. You know, for all the fans out there, hope springs eternal. Like you said, anyone could make the playoffs. You got multiple new players, new faces.
When every team is in training camp, it's all live. It's all possible. Like, you're going to hear about changes on the depth chart. You're going to hear about injuries while at practice. Somebody's favorite player is going to get hurt. We're going to go down. We're going to be tracking that injury. There are going to be players who are
Hey, you
unhappy
already know.
with their
Tie
current
the
situation.
toxic table. Yes. Wait, what did they say? Tie the toxic table, Smith, or something? They say something funny with him. Yeah, that's so funny, 3 a.m. Thank you for that. You got Ty the toxic table, you got Darius Butler, and then you've got Tone Diggs. Man, they always give Tone Diggs a hard time. Who else you got? You got man, why am I blanking on his name? Played for Green Bay. You know who I'm talking about. I'm blanking on it though. 3 a.m. Help me out.
That now come to light. There'll be players, I
you
believe,
got
that
Connor,
will wind up
you got
holding
Connor
in.
too. Connor's been out.
Training.
Connor got married. He got married, so he's been out. But what's the other one? The one that played for Green Bay. He's a guest. He's friends with Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah.
Is it AJ?
Today.
No, it's not AJ. What's his name? Is it AJ? Why am I feeling like his name's AJ?
Or in recent days. And then
AJ
all
Hawk.
of a sudden,
Yes, okay, I was
they
right.
won't
It is AJ Hawk. I was like, why am I feeling like his name's AJ? It is AJ, so it's AJ Hawk. Thank you.
Practicing because they've got contractitis. That happens too, Ty. It's all underway right now with all 32 teams in camp, and now we can start again seeing what actually develops. Let's go back to last summer for a moment, right? When everybody assumed that Micah Parsons just would be getting a new deal from the Dallas Cowboys. Yeah. And I remember doing our weekly 6 a.m. Get Up production meeting call, and literally there was a day in which the topic of the show we were going to lead with, okay, what it's going to be like when Dallas re-signs Mike.
I just want to get to the part where you talk about, I should have found a timestamp. I didn't realize this video. I downloaded this video, didn't realize it was 30 minutes. But I should have got a timestamp.
Tight ends coach, which happens.
Maybe if I fast
spoke to police, and police.
What's this topic? So they got different headlines. So this is about Kyle Shanahan. I'm sure y'all are familiar with the wreck that he was in. He had to have like 40 stitches. Bad wreck. Pray for his return. and that he has great healing, but he was in a horrible accident. So they do have little headlines here. So I'm going to try to see if I can't search through this and find what I'm looking for. This is on Aaron Darnold comeback. Oh, I'm actually kind of interested in that. Maybe let me back it up a little bit, because I am kind of interested in what they have to say about Darnold. He's going through something like Aaron Rodgers, isn't he?
Going to pay him. So before we can even get to the point where he's
Momo Rand.
back,
He said, "You killing it. You killing it, Chelsea. Thank you." Let's play your drop. 1908 is where we're at. Because Momo Rant, your drop is so funny to me. I need to check out, y'all. That reminds me, I still need to check out some of your other ones, because I know that you have new ones that I could add as your drop. But this one's a classic. Let's see, where's it at? Here we go.
The diabetes chicken made by Lloyd, and like the Cowboys, it sucks ass. Ace, it is like sorrow and sewage. This shit not fit for a raccoon. The diabetes
chicken. So funny. You never gets old with that one either. Shout out to you, Momo Rants. And shout out to you, Pooh Man. Making sure I keep my place, because you know I'm forgetful. But we're at 1908. Let me find it here. Here we go.
Where he's back on the team side, if that's what he decides, they have to figure out a new contractual arrangement for him. Unless the Rams are just going to say, okay, go take $30 million, which I would not guess ultimately would be the case. So we'll see how that plays out, but that will be your tip-off in terms of when the Aaron Donald situation would be heating up.
Shetsy, are you under the impression that they've already had these conversations in some part, correct? Like they're not,
I'm sure they've had some conversations, but I don't think that they've intensified to where either side would know the outcome. Maybe they have. I haven't heard that. I haven't asked that. But like, again, no, I don't think they've resolved that. So I think that would still be an unresolved situation that would command and demand both sides' attention before he actually did sign off and sign on the dotted line to play again this season.
That was a great shout out to Ty. Ty, the Toxic Table. Shout out to him for that question to Adam Sheftner. I'm impressed. That was a great journalistic question to ask Adam Sheftner. Do you think there's already been conversations and talks about, this contract that they would agree on? And Adam Sheftner said no, that would be something they would still have to address. So a money agreement. They would have to come to a money agreement on this. That was a great question from Ty.
See, that's an element that a lot of people haven't talked about.
Right. No, and that would make sense.
And see, Adam Sheftner, y'all, this is like the journalistic in me, because I'm just broadcasting journalist. I get so impressed with some of these questions, and even Adam Sheftner said that was something that people aren't talking enough about. So that's why I'm so impressed with Ty's question, is because I haven't heard people bringing this up. So very great question from Ty.
You wouldn't get into contract negotiations, discussions if he wasn't 100% in, like, hey, I will be there. I will be on the team this year. You're not going to waste time, saying, okay, well, how does the money work out in this situation? But I would imagine, and again, I don't know, I would think that if he ends up getting to the point where he says, yes, I want to play this year, that maybe it would be a little bit easier of not necessarily an open shut book kind of thing, but I think, I don't think he's going to agree to come back and then we're going to have this long drawn out contract negotiation. I could be wrong, but that would be my take, is that maybe he already has a little bit of an idea, they already have a little bit of an idea, and they kind of...
This is a great prediction. This is similar to how I think as well.
You just need to come together and really hammer it home. But I guess we'll find out. And like I said, we'll be talking about that probably every week until we have some sort of resolution on this Aaron Donald situation. All right, Shefty, let's move on to topic number 5 of this week's Six Pack. Someone who is also an incredibly dominant defensive lineman, We've talked about Vita
This
Vea
is what I
all
was
off
looking
season.
at. Vita Vea. This is the one that I've been waiting for, okay? I'm glad that I skipped ahead because I wasn't trying to be here all day, y'all.
A new contract, and then lo and behold, I think it was yesterday, late afternoon, he wants to be traded. What more do you know about this situation, and how likely is it that Vita Vea is going to be on a new team?
I ain't gonna lie. Ty sounds like he's in a spaceship. I know that Ty, like, I can tell by the background, he's at the Thunderdome. He's at the Thunderdome. This is where Pat McAfee hosts his show. I'm sure that after Pat McAfee's show was done, he was on with Adam Sheftner doing Adam Sheftner's podcast, because Adam Sheftner often has him as a co-host, a guest on his podcast. But I can tell by that background, he's at the Thunderdome. But man, it sounds like he's in a spaceship.
Well, he wants to be traded because he doesn't have the new contract he wants, and the two sides have not made any progress, and I don't think the Bucs have made any meaningful offers to give Vita Vea the reason to not say, I want to be traded. When a player says, I want to be traded, it's because he usually doesn't have the type of contract that he wants, and whenever a player says, I want to get traded, that's always a sexy storyline, as much as training camp is opening. Like, literally, as we're doing this, 1 minute ago, my father, Jeff Sheftner, just texted me, and I could just read this. I don't like boring you with nonsense, but I can't help it. Vita Vea would be a perfect fit for my New York Giants.
Shout out to Adam Sheftner's dad for that. Man, that's hilarious. I don't know if my dad would do that to me. My stepmom actually does that to me, though. My stepmom, y'all, she was sending me, like, headlines and things like that. My stepmom will send me things. But my dad, like, I'm more of the one harassing my dad about things like that. Like, my dad, one time, maybe I'll show those text messages because I have them saved. But my dad asked me just a simple question. You know, what happened in the Dallas game? Because he missed part of it. So I gave him a full breakdown of that game. And this is just the journalistic broadcasting side that comes out of me. But he was like, dang, Chelsea, that's like an article out of Sports Illustrated. Because I sent him a whole breakdown of how that game went. So I'm more the one, like, harassing him about things like that. Hey, this player's on the table. I think he'd be a good fit here. Like, I'm more of the one doing that to my dad.
Plus draft capital. Don't know cap issues. Follow the Rams lead. One can only hope. So that's Jeff Sheftner weighing in on the unresolved Vita Vea situation that I just got. And I'll have to call him when we're done with this podcast.
Yep.
Tell him to calm down and stop sending me fanboy texts. Like,
man, I need to clip that. I always talk about I need to clip things, but I really need to clip that part. Calm down. Stop sending me fanboy texts. That would be a good one for G Honda. I ain't gonna lie. That'd be a good one for G Honda. Hey, stop sending me fanboy chats, okay? Because you talking kind of out of pocket here. That's a good one.
this one. While I'm on air. I mean, what the heck is going on with that, Papa? I mean, that's crazy.
I mean, that makes sense, though, because I think anytime you hear this and it's a player like that, every team, and that's part of the training camp excitement, every single fan base has that exact same reaction.
They're going through that exercise, right? What can we trade for Vita Vea? You know who's not?
I was just doing it earlier. I ain't mad at it, but, you know, obviously Jordan Brooks, that's off the table, but I was just doing that earlier because I'm like, man, please let Dallas get Jordan, but that's off the table. Like, he already has a contract, so that's off the table, but man, I'm telling you, I would like that. Like, I would like that. So that's part of it. Fans are going to look for, when a player is wanting to be traded, hey, how could that person fit on my team? What could they do for my team? People start evaluating that. Well, fans start evaluating that, and analysts as well.
Going through that exercise right now?
Who's that?
The Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
Yeah, right.
They're the Jeff Sheftner is, but the Buccaneers are not. At least not to my knowledge. Now, we'll speak to them at some point in time. We'll speak to the Vita Vea people, and we'll see if they can figure out a resolution. But I don't think the Buccaneers are sitting there on the whiteboard this morning plotting certain packages that they can get from certain teams. I think they're trying to figure out, how can we make our guy happy? How can we get him from saying, I want to trade, to where he's happier about staying in Tampa? Now, maybe it's beyond the point of no return.
I'm thinking if you're like, if it's this late, I'm thinking it's past the point of return. Like, there's issues that are not resolved there, and they're not going to come to a resolution on this. So that's kind of what I'm getting once it's this late.
Has no intention of re-signing him, and maybe they will be open to trading him. But there have been many players who have issued trade requests. By the way, the last one who did it was Dexter Lawrence, and Dexter Lawrence, as it turned out, wound up getting traded and getting a reworked deal, which has probably contributed
I look at Dexter Lawrence, Miles Garrett. Those are big names.
Vea being in this spot anyway, because Vita Vea probably would want Dexter Lawrence money, like Dexter Lawrence
Where did
paid
Dexter Lawrence go? Did Dexter Lawrence go to the Bengals? I can't even remember where he went to. I'm gonna have to look it up.
It's a tackle position. So we'll see how it all plays out. But here's one more storyline for us to track, as all teams now are in training camp.
Yeah, and I saw, something to the effect that...
Okay, I was right. He went to the Bengals.
He missed quoting him here a little bit, but Todd Bowles basically said, Vita Vea is irreplaceable. So
Todd Bowles,
typically,
that's the name on the hot seat list for NFL coaches.
And again, anything can happen. Obviously, we've seen that, but typically you don't have your head coach say that and then a couple weeks later turn around and trade him. So I would agree. He's one of the best defensive players in the NFL. He is certainly a very hard piece to replace, and you would think that the Bucs are going to do whatever they can do to make sure they have him come the start of the season. So this will be, but again, this is one of those things we'll keep an eye on.
Yep.
With training camp and kind of as the next few weeks progress. And the Bucs have a lot of, unresolved issues, whether it's him, Baker, they have a lot of stuff they need to figure out over the course of the next few weeks here. We'll see what kind of information we do get from them. All right, Shefty, let's move on to the sixth and final topic
all I wanted to cover from that. Now, let's get into Lamar Jackson, y'all. I had some college football topics I wanted to get into as well, but I'm just going to save that for another day, because I'm telling you, I've been on here for a while, okay? It feels like, it's past dinner time. So this is the last one. This is on Lamar Jackson.
Welcome back. We continue our countdown to Super Bowl 61 today, which will air on ESPN and ABC Valentine's Day. And we're going to focus on the AFC North. The Ravens enter the season with
Valentine's Day?
Super Bowl expectations after adding Trey Hendrickson to bolster their pass rush. But more importantly, a healthy Lamar Jackson returns to lead a team with new head coach Jesse Minter and offensive coordinator Declan Doyle, along with Derrick Henry, still his teammate, the two-time MVP. So if we're going off history, all these changes could bring out the best in Lamar Jackson. In each of the previous 2 seasons that the Ravens brought in a new OC, Jackson won the MVP.
Ooh, that's an interesting fact. I ain't gonna lie, I kind of like that fact there. So each time the Ravens have brought in a new OC, you have Lamar Jackson winning MVP. Let's see if he can do that again this upcoming season. Y'all know Lamar Jackson, that's one guy besides Dak Prescott I would love to see win a Super Bowl, because I remember when Lamar in the draft, he was disappointed he didn't go, he was expecting to go higher, but the Ravens took him and he said the Ravens are going to get a Super Bowl out of me. So I'm really hoping that ends up being the case. I hope that the Ravens get a Super Bowl out of Lamar Jackson. I think he's a talented quarterback. He's one quarterback who's had unfortunate circumstances happen. And I can give you an example. So I talk about this game all the time, but last season my favorite game was probably the Steelers versus the Ravens. That game was back-to-back. I mean, Aaron Rodgers was airing it out. Lamar was doing the same. It was just back-to-back, right? Well, Lamar did everything right. He did everything right that he could in his own power to get them that game to win. That kicker missed the field goal. The kicker missed the field goal, and it caused them to lose. So I don't put it on Lamar all the time, because sometimes it just comes down to other teammates, different sides of the ball. Like, it plays a factor in whether a quarterback is going to have success, and I think Lamar is a product of unfortunate circumstances happening throughout his career. But hopefully he can get to a Super Bowl.
Lamar won 13 games in each of those campaigns. 2019 with Greg Roman, that was the year that Lamar won the MVP unanimously, and then 2023 with Todd Monken. Evan, is this year more pivotal for Lamar Jackson or the Ravens as a team?
Hey, look who we got on there. We got Schrager. We got Peter Schrager.
Are.
I don't think there's any question it's the Baltimore Ravens as a team more than Lamar Jackson. Because if we do the compare and the contrast with the quarterback that I believe he's most often compared to, that would be Josh Allen. Yep. Okay?
Can
MVPs,
I just say something that I'm not a fan of with ESPN? I'm just not a fan of how they use more of the women as hosts, just asking the questions to the different analysts, and then saying, hey, we're going to come back after commercial break. I'm not a fan of how they use the women in that certain role as just a host versus not giving in-depth knowledge analyst work. Because the only one that I can really think of that does that is, again, Mina Kimes. So I'm just not a fan of that. And I know, like, for example, Laura Rutledge, I know she knows ball. I know she knows her stuff. So it's like, I would like to see her used in another capacity besides just being a host and saying the questions and when to go to commercial. Like, I mean, I don't know. Like, I would like to see more from some of the women that work at ESPN, because the only one I see getting in depth with it is Mina Kimes. Obviously, Laura Rutledge, you know, they might enjoy those roles. They might enjoy asking the questions and, you know, hosting rather than just giving analytic work. I know that Laura Rutledge also works as a sideline reporter. She stepped back from her role at SEC Nation, and so now she's fully invested in the NFL Live and doing sideline reporting for the NFL. But anyways, that's just a side note.
Super Bowl. Both had really newsworthy coaching changes this offseason. John Harbaugh is out. Sean McDermott is out. I don't believe either guy was fired by the quarterback. I do believe Sean McDermott's replacement was hired by his quarterback, right? In Josh Allen. I believe Josh Allen probably, and understandably so, said, Joe Brady's really good. I want this guy. I have a hard time believing Lamar Jackson said, Jesse Minter, who, yes, he was in Baltimore. His dad is a longtime coach, Harbaugh connection, the whole deal. That's the guy that I want. I don't know that he necessarily said that. That's the guy they hired. So that in itself puts more pressure on the organization that they have better have gotten that one right. In addition, I want to quote a longtime philosopher that I've always looked up to, Brian Windhorst. Actions over words. There has never been this offseason the action.
I talk about show me the action, Dallas Cowboys, because I'm tired of hearing the words. And I say this to the fans too. It's like, stop saying that we have Super Bowl potential, that, you know, something could happen this year. Like, stop doing all that. Wait for the action. And I even say this. I don't even know if I'll believe it when I see it. I might be in disbelief if the Dallas Cowboys ever win a Super Bowl, because it's like, it's been this many years, like my entire life, and it's like, I might still be in disbelief even if they do win.
Of a pen to paper signing a contract that has been there by the Baltimore Ravens for Lamar Jackson. So why not? Speculate all you want. The reality is it's not signed. So until that contract is signed, what I believe is happening is Lamar is rightfully putting pressure on the organization. We better be great around me, because me, Lamar Jackson, I'm a first ballot Hall of Famer right now if I never take another snap. You win 2 MVPs at that position, with the amount of wins he has, he's in Canton already. Already in Canton. So now the pressure's on the Baltimore Ravens. You could say, well, Lamar is worse in the playoffs than he is in the regular season. Sure. They're the ones who want him, and he hasn't signed the contract. So the pressure's on them, not him.
Keep in mind, Lamar Jackson, as far as I know, he still handles his own business. He doesn't have an agent. He handles his own contracts, which is impressive.
Heavy as the crown, right? I mean, this is the Lamar story every summer. Is this the year? And the graphic we showed earlier was really compelling.
Yeah, are you referring
in his first year?
Now, I believe Jane works with the NFL Network, if that's who you're referring to. Jane, she's another one that's really great. I would agree. But she works, I'm talking for ESPN. I'm not talking about the NFL Network. Although, that being said, Quan, you did have ESPN just buy the NFL Network. So, you could definitely add her to the list. For the NFL Network, she's absolutely a favorite too. But as far as it goes for ESPN, they just don't have many women like that. They only have Mina Kimes. I wouldn't be mad, Quan, if they add Jane to ESPN. I don't think that they will do that. I think they will keep Jane at her role with the NFL Network. But I do like Jane. I believe she was on Pat McAfee today. She was a guest on the Pat McAfee show.
With Greg Roman, he won the MVP. In his first year with Todd Monken, he won the MVP. He's with Declan Doyle, who is 1 month older than him. They're both 29 years old right now.
Hold up.
He is the
Lamar Jackson's 29? I didn't realize Lamar Jackson was 29.
Offensive coordinator. I spent time with the Ravens back in April, and I'm pretty well sourced within that Ravens organization. When I tell you, this is nothing against the Harbaugh Monken or Harbaugh Roman era, I don't know if the vibes have been this good in Baltimore in 10 years. I mean it. This is a team that is already excited, reinvigorated. Lamar has been outstanding this offseason. Present, leading. Everything you could ever ask for from Lamar, he has been.
And I would give this from Peter Schrager with this is that the Ravens feel more refreshed. So the coaching change could definitely have an impact and make a difference. And it's like that stat said earlier. It said that every time there's a new offensive coordinator, Lamar Jackson has won MVP. So I'm interested to see how he excels. But the way Peter Schrager is speaking, it sounds like it's a team that's refreshed and early on doing great things, being really involved, putting in the work. So we'll see what plays out.
Back to the coaches too. Minter and Doyle, which I don't know if has been reported widely, went down to Florida. And they spent a lot of time with Lamar in his world and said, okay, we want to get to know you better. How can we do
so
that?
They're investing, getting to know the players. I like it. I'm here for it.
Zay Flowers has been getting up at 5 a.m. every morning, and Lamar has been working out with him at 5 a.m. Lamar has picked up boxing this offseason.
Oh, shout out to Lamar. Picking up boxing? I'm impressed. I did not know this. But shout out to Lamar.
You read about in NFL previews and you check the box and say, love it, love it, love it, love it. Lamar has done his part. The question, of course, is whether he can get over the hump. But there's 16 teams in the AFC. 13 of them have great quarterbacks. Is this the year? Is this the group? Well, they tried to change things up. And you look at Steve Bisciotti's press conference way back when he let Harbaugh go. It was basically, I love John.
If Dallas is out, I would go for Lamar Jackson. I would. If Lamar Jackson's in it, I would go for him. I want to see him win a Super Bowl. Man, you know what? I just thought about this. If it was the Eagles versus the Ravens in a Super Bowl, I would go for the Ravens. I would. Because, Jalen Hurts, he's already won a Super Bowl. As much as I love the team that they have, it's I would want it for Lamar Jackson. Because he's never won. He's had to deal with a lot of people giving him unnecessary criticism. So I would want Lamar to get a Super Bowl.
Harbaugh, I don't like what our team did to finish the season, and it was time for a change. So I'm going to say it is on Lamar. But it's going to be the typical Lamar thing where it's, okay, can you lead us? Can you throw us on your back? I think he can.
I'm about to get up from the table. Everything Peter just said, like, I'm ready to just go place my vote for the Baltimore Ravens to be in the Super Bowl. Like, that was just to his point. Like, Lamar Jackson showed up to everything, 5 a.m. workouts, boxing, all of that, the vibes in the building. And this is the best vibes in a decade for a team that has been an awesome team and won a ton of games with John Harbaugh and Lamar Jackson. There's definitely more pressure and it's a more pivotal season for the Baltimore Ravens. You said it, when you move on from a longtime head coach and you keep the quarterback and you're doing all the necessary steps to appease the quarterback, like flying to Florida, spending time, getting to know him in his element, you have completely bought into Lamar Jackson. You mentioned not signing that contract. Next year, his cap number goes up to nearly $85 million. So in order for them to be able to be the team they want to be for the future, Lamar has to at some point sign an extension. So for the Baltimore Ravens, you're looking at Lamar and you're saying, well, we're doing everything we feel like necessary to put you in position to succeed and to get over that hump that Schrags talks about. We need you to follow through on it. But if you don't, and if you do choose that you don't want to be here, we've just moved on from a longtime head coach, and now we're sitting there
Lamar
and we're like,
sign a deal. I think it'll get done.
all right, what do we do next? So I definitely think it's more of a pivotal season for the Baltimore Ravens. I'm in the camp of Lamar Jackson is going to be great.
I agree.
The conversation
I think
around
Lamar Jackson's going to be great.
Last year, with him playing banged up throughout the course of the season, like, he's still going to be one of the best quarterbacks in our league.
Yeah, I'm fascinated as well with
right.
what Schrager said.
I think that's enough of that, y'all. I've been on here for a while. I think it is time to go. Let's close it out with a motivational video.
One of my favorite quotes till this day: God will put you back together in front of those who broke you.
I agree with that. Trust the process. Even if you're an unbeliever, you gotta trust the process that things will work out for the good and you will be put back together in front of those who don't wish you well. So, shout out to that. Let's get out of here, Touchdown Tribe. Later, Pooh Man. I will catch you in the next one. Bye, guys.